Good morning and welcome as we goose step our way into a brand new week. It's a Monday morning with your feel-good breakfast show, and it's going to be a feel-good kickstart to a brand new week. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Graham Richards. So happy to be representing your feel-good family this morning, and we are going to pack it in, being the start of a new week. Yes, we're going to deal with the dark stuff as well. Banyana losing out in the Women's Soccer World Cup, walking away with a lot of frustration, I would imagine, just like the fans in their opening encounter, but so many positives. We'll get into that. And then bringing melody and laughter to your screens. We are joined by, I think, the comedian extraordinaire, one of our absolutely favorite human beings, Martin Lottering, this morning. And so I wrote that musical is going to be moving to theatre on the Bay. If you have not seen it, make sure that you book it down in your diaries this morning. Then, of course, one of our favorites, another favorite human being, just one of those lovely people that we cannot wait to host. Yakta Priste is here, bringing his soulful tunes for your Monday morning. He is also involved in the most beautiful literacy initiative that we cannot wait to jump on board. It's going to be a beautiful start to the brand new week. So let's get the conversation started, whether it's online or on live TV. We are here for you. And I'm going to say good morning to a very summery friend of mine. Thank you for bringing summer in a little bit early, Zozo. How are you?
Thank you, G-Man. Listen, I'm excited that it's a brand new week, and yes, I am here for wearing dresses, but we love to connect with you first thing in the morning on social media. So for today's Good Morning post, we're actually asking you, who in your friend group knows you best? Tell us about your bestie, and you can share that with us in a voice note. Our number is 063-408-8863. I would have to say, out of all the work colleagues, Wasty knows me the best, if I can be honest. It's actually quite weird how we sometimes weirdly connected, and I think it's because we spent so much time together throughout the couple of years that we worked together. But who is that person for you? Let us know. You can comment on Facebook or even send us a voice note. But it's that time of the morning for us to get duties underway. Here is Ryle with your morning headlines.
Thank you so much. So yes, good morning, you beautiful souls. Of course, it is time for official duties, and starting with national news headlines. Now, all 8 police VIP protection service unit members caught on video assaulting 3 people on the N1 freeway in Johannesburg earlier this month have been arrested. Now, the arrests were effected yesterday afternoon by the Independent Police Investigative Directorate at the Sandton Police Station in Johannesburg. Now, the officers will appear in the Randburg Magistrates Court later today. Now, all 8 officers are expected to face charges of assault, malicious damage to property, and the pointing of a firearm. Now, they were part of Deputy President Paul Mashitele's security detail. Now, carrying on with national headlines, the city of Johannesburg has confirmed that the CBD explosion which ripped through Lillian Goyi Street last week was caused by gas. Now, City Manager Floyd Brink said the source of the gas that was detected in the service duct was unknown, but investigations would continue over the next few days to locate the source. Now, buildings adjacent to the collapsed road have been inspected, and at this stage, no structural failure has been detected. Now, the buildings have been deemed structurally safe for occupation. Well, from our national news headlines, let's head over to international news. Now, the military government in Mali has adopted a new constitution that enhances the powers of the president and the armed forces. Now, it also demotes French from an official to a working language. Now, Mali has been ruled by a military junta since 2020, and the opposition has vehemently denounced the reforms, which the Electoral Commission says were backed by 97% of votes cast in last month's referendum. Now, the new constitution means interim President Colonel Assimi Goïta now has the power to dissolve parliament. Well, next up in our headlines, at least 1 person has been killed and 19 injured in Russian missile strikes on the Ukrainian port of Odessa. Now, the Transfiguration Cathedral in the UNESCO World Heritage listed historic center was badly damaged. Now, Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has vowed retaliation, and meanwhile, some 33,700 more Ukrainians have crossed into Poland in the past 48 hours. Now, more than 13.8 million people have now crossed into Poland from Ukraine since 24th of Feb 2022. Now, this was when Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine. Well, lastly, in our headlines, a village in the Scottish Highlands was recently flooded by a sea of 361 sandy coats and smiley faces as the golden retriever breed celebrated 150 years. Now, the adorable pooches gathered in their hundreds at the original birthplace of the first ever golden retriever puppies, the village of Tomich. Now a UK favorite, the breed was created during the 1800s to have a dog that could swim significant distances to retrieve wild fowl. And the breed developed a calm temperament along the way, leading to the friendly nature these magnificent dogs are known for to this day. Well, that's all the headlines I have for you right now. We'll do it all again in an hour. For now, though, it's time to carry on with the rest of it, and G-Man has the latest when it comes to sport.
Just thinking about being the one guy to bring a squeaky ball to that day. Well, let's talk about what went on this weekend. We got to approach the heartbreaking defeat to Sweden first. Of course, our opening account in the FIFA Women's World Cup on Sunday is now behind them. Banyana are going to have to get their first win of the tournament when they face Group G rivals Argentina at the Dunedin Stadium on the 28th of July. So the African champions, they scored the first goal against the Swedes through Hilda Machaya, and their victory was a little short-lived as that third-ranked side bounced back quickly to seal a 2-1 victory. But Banyana showing so much strength. Machaya also took a nasty knock when scoring the goal, but it seems she will be okay to face Argentina on Friday. Then on to cricket. Sadly, Australia have retained the Ashes after the first test against England at Old Trafford ended in a rain-affected draw, which is why we are sad, with a bad weather, meaning no play was possible on Sunday's final day. So the result now does ensure that Australia will keep the Ashes as the current holders to 2-1 up with only one match left in the series. They certainly have earned it, though, regardless of the next week's fifth test at the Oval, whatever that outcome is. The heavy overnight rain left the outfield sodden and meant play was unable to start as scheduled in Manchester. That rain continued throughout the day and meant that there wasn't a single ball bowled, in fact. So heartbreak, I think, for both teams, as that was really poised. Now, a moment of history in Formula One, and it might seem that Max Verstappen is just going about his business as he cruised to yet another majestic victory, this time at the Hungarian Grand Prix, now reading off a record 12th straight win for Red Bull. The defending double world champion grabbed the lead from pole sitter Lewis Hamilton at the start and then remained in control for his 7th successive victory, his 9th in 11 races this year and his 44th of his career. So more significantly, it was Red Bull's 12th consecutive win, and that breaks a 35-year-old record that they had shared with McLaren, who won 11 straight races back in 1988. And you might remember these names. Certain Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna were the driving pair for that one. Now, history made as well in golf as Brian Harman overcame an early wobble to stroll serenely to his first major title with a 6-shot victory at the 151st Open Championship in Hoylake. So a 1 under 70 proved more than enough for the American, who finished on 13 under at a rain-soaked Royal Liverpool. World number 3 John Ram finished joint second on 7 under with Sepp Straka, Tom Kim and Jason Day. And then South Africa's wunderkind Christo Lamprecht won the silver medal for the leading amateur finisher after he ended on 11 over par for the tournament, but he was certainly the standout young star. I reckon a sponsorship or two is probably going to come a-calling, but that's where we leave our sport for now. Lorenzo will help us work through Banyana's performance this weekend, but right now let's get the latest on the weather front with Zoe.
Thank you, Graham. And we start off with some news. The SA Council of Geoscience has confirmed that an earthquake was registered near the Harmony Doornkoop gold mine on the West Rand at 6:45 on Saturday evening. It registered a magnitude 3 on the SA National Seismograph Network. It's still unclear at this stage if any damage was caused to properties or infrastructure in the area. This is the second earthquake recorded on the Witwatersrand in the past few weeks. In June, residents on the East Rand were woken by a 4.7 magnitude earthquake in the early hours of the morning. The epicenter was in Boksburg. Let's take a look at your temperatures on your Monday, starting off in Polokwane. Your low 8, your high 27. Mbombela 12 with a high of 27. Pretoria 8, 24. Johannesburg 3. In fact, your low is 6, your high 23. Mahikeng 6, 25. Klerksdorp 1, 21. Kimberley 1 with a high of 18. Bloemfontein, brace yourself. Your low is -4, your high 18 degrees Celsius. Richards Bay 18. In fact, that's your high. 11, that's your low. Pietermaritzburg, 5 with a high of 15 and some rain. Rainy conditions for Durban, 12 reaching a high of 18. Mthatha, 2 with a high of 18. If you're in East London, 7 your low, 18 your high. Cradock, -1 with a high of 15. Gqeberha, your low is 4, your high 17. George, 2 reaching a high of 14 for today. Cape 15, Worcester 3 with a high of 16, Sutherland -2 with a high of 12, and Uppington 2 with a high of 21. Well, those are your temperatures for today. Let's take a look at your sunrise views that you've shared with us. We head on over to Winds, where Zilla sent through this wonderful view from her window. Then we have Bernice and Langebaan sharing a tangerine-filled sky. Omi from Keymouth is enjoying the beautiful ocean views and shared this beautiful photo with us. And Wayne in GQ captured the sun blazing through the branches, and we love seeing all of your sunrise views. So please continue sharing with us. Our number is 063 408 8863.
Thank you so much, Zoe. And yes, Mzansi, we brought you every reason to stick around right now and not go anywhere. Why? Well, this man's here firstly. Lorenzo's in the building, bring us all the latest when it comes to sport. Brother, what happened this weekend? What are we diving into when it comes to the conversation?
Definitely FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
We have to go and just dissect that game. Lots to take out of it. Positives, just didn't get the result.
All right, well, we're getting there, and we are getting into the weekend, getting into our fitness, and that means Paul Jordan's in the building! Should I be scared or should I be nervous? You're going to find out after this. I'm going to get changed and get ready for my fitness. You can join along and get those endorphins pumped for this week. So don't go anywhere, Mzansi. We'll see you after this.
Bespoke.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. Even if, yes, we have to talk about a loss, we can do it. A challenging kickoff to the Women's World Cup for Banyana, succumbing 2-1 to a powerhouse Sweden, one of the best in the world. And they showed that, but we certainly proved our mettle. And despite a hopeful start leading into the game, 2 late strikes from the world's 3rd-ranked team flipped the script. And here to delve deeper into the highs and lows and what's next is our very own Good Hope FM sports anchor, Lorenzo Dari.
How's it, brother?
How's it, Boyki? I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna, because I know you would have felt it as much as I felt it this weekend.
Woke up early yesterday morning, you know, ready for it. Had my jersey on, you know, snacks out.
Best
and I was
way
like,
to start the day.
Yeah, on a Sunday, football, supporting your nation.
My kid lumps there. They're as excited about watching the FIFA Women's Cup as World Cup as I am. We shouldn't have lost that game. I'm going to say, as a fan, I am biased, okay? An own goal, not goal, own goal. And a 90-minute goal. We could have, should have, might have won this one. Just put it in perspective for us. I think on a base level, we played incredibly well.
We played incredibly well. If we look at that Swedish team, you know, 3rd in the world, just behind the United States, and they came out guns blazing. Had so much possession. I think we had like 35% possession throughout the game. They had 13 corners, and if I
result doesn't come,
100%. And the one thing she highlighted when in her post-match conference was the transitioning from that attacking to that defending, you know, was absolutely magnificent. So there were positives that we took out. And if we could take the number 3 team in the world that far to actually score and get back into the game, what could we do if we actually listened to the ladies? We had the little problem before we went to the tournament. Give them the opposition in Europe that they want.
That they need.
And that they deserve.
Yeah, completely. Because you're doing them a disservice. They need that. And they proved with the one friendly that they have. Like, okay, they're on it. But I think that might have been
Costa
as much
Rica?
fire and fury as it was anything else. Luckily, we only got the small matter of Argentina next.
Only Argentina. They're only 26 in the world, you know.
We'll bounce back.
Yeah, no, we should.
This is a dangerous one because this Argentinian side have proven their chops. They might not be the chops. They might not be the highest ranked team within that European context, but this is a very strong team with structures upon structures within their football.
So looking at it, South Americans, their counterparts, the males at the moment, number 1 team in the world. So they've got a lot of pressure. We know how the Argentinians and some of the other Spanish countries, they're very passionate about their football. You know, Maradona and all of those things. So lots of pressure on them to make it to the next round. But they forget that, you know, Mzansi flair, come on.
Yeah, well, we're African champions. And we've showed you've got that kind of grit and that mettle, which is often the fortitude that you need in those critical moments. How are we expecting Argentina to set up? Is it a similar prospect to Sweden? In terms of our play and what Desiree has set up within this team, is it a better fit? Is it going to be a little bit more dicey? Because they're going to take it to the ground.
Yes.
I doubt there's going to be as many headers as we saw.
No. Let's not go there. Let's not go. The type of Swedes and that the Argentinians, totally different.
So will this play into our favour, or will this be a bigger challenge?
Yeah. You know, that South American samba flair and all of those things, Brazilians, they tend to want to play similar, you know, close ball. And what we've seen is that we are really good at closing down teams so that they don't get all of that. And our interceptions with the Swedes, we did quite well.
Probably the best part of the game for me.
We took them all the way. We allowed them, and then they'll give us a definitive answer probably by Wednesday. But as far as I know, since last night, she should be playing, and it's not as serious as we thought it was.
Absolutely love that. Music to my ears. Banyana losing our 2-1 to the 3rd-ranked team in the world, who do hold the record for the most goals scored in a match, which I think was hanging around in the back of my mind. And we will take on Argentina next. But I think Desiree Ellis absolutely proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that these girls need to be there, and this could be our year.
Oh, this definitely could be our year. And speaking of our year, this could also be your year too, especially if you get your fitness on. Now, maybe you want to add this to your arsenal, right? Now, the perfect blend of fitness regime balances cardio strength, endurance, and power. But we often focus heavily on the initial 2, but introducing agility into your routine can boost your overall performance, your speed, and strength in any workout. Now, we've got someone here that's going to do something special. Yes, guide us through these exercises designed to enhance our strength and our agility. So, of course, the one and only Paul Jordan is here to show us how. How you doing, bro?
Good in yourself.
Lekker, Monday morning, bright and early. This is perfect to get the endorphins, the blood flowing, and get into the week, man. What you got for us?
All right, so obviously we're going to be performing agility exercises.
Yeah.
You took the words straight out of my mouth when you named the benefits. We're going to be doing some agility exercises combined with some strength movements, and we're going to be performing about 3, and then we're just going to keep them going on a roll.
So let's get into the technical side of how we do it, and then I'm going to ask you more about how to incorporate this into a workout, because that's always the interesting part. So what's the first move that you got for us?
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing side shuffles. So let's just demonstrate to the people.
Side shuffles.
So let me demonstrate, okay? So it's going to be 1, 2, squat, and we're going to be doing high knees, okay? And then back, repeat.
All right, so you're shifting over to the left, so you're going 1, 2,
squat, high knees, 1, 2, 3, and then
back to you, 2, squat, and then high knees.
Yes, but with every lap, you add 1 more squat. Okay.
Oh, so you start with 1 rep, then 2, then 3 until we go into... Okay. What would be like the goal in terms of rounds to get to? Like 10 rounds would be
like 10 to 12. 12. Give yourself like 60 seconds rest.
Okay.
And then you repeat.
That'll add up.
You can add like 3. You can do like 3 overall sets.
Okay, lekker. Should we get into it?
Yes.
Okay, let's go. So maybe we should stagger so we don't knock into each other. And again, Mzansi, if you're doing this with your family, make sure you stagger as well so no one knocks into that. But let's go. Paul, you're down in the building there.
Okay. 1,
2,
squat, high knees. 1, 2, squat, high knees. 1, 2, squat, knees.
What? We're doing 2 squats there. Are we adding the squats every time? No?
You are correct.
Yeah, I got one up on full. Yeah, Dad, finally.
1, 2, 2.
Okay, so 1,
1,
2, high knees.
high knees. 1, 2, 1, 2, high knees.
And now it's 3, right?
1, 2, 3, high knees. 1, 2, let's go. 1, 2, 3, that's good. Okay, let's get the view.
Feeling this, man. Okay,
Right,
so
cool.
calves, legs, core, everything's coming into play,
That is
especially the
correct.
heart rate. And it's a little bit of fun as well. You can get some music, you can dance to that, right?
Exactly, so you can do about like 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
And then we can move on now to the next one, right?
Right, what's the next
So,
one?
The idea of everything is basically just to keep the agility going.
Yes.
So I would basically say we're gonna go to 1, 2 again. You can perform a back lunge, forward lunge, back, 1, 2.
And then you use the opposite leg for the forward and back lunge,
And
right?
with every lap, you add 1 more.
All right, okay.
So that's basically my recommendation for this.
Okay.
Let's give it a try
Let's
again.
go. All right,
Okay.
so
1,
2, reverse. Okay, forward first, forward.
and back.
Reverse.
That is correct.
Lovely. Same thing on this side.
1,
2, forward first.
forward, and back. That
Oh,
is
nice,
good.
all right.
1, 2, forward, back, 1, 2.
Forward first. Now, this is proper because you really got to concentrate here. You really got to like pay attention to what you're doing. But at the same time, everything in your body is being used here. So like I can feel my feet and my calves. I can feel the legs activate, but the core's got to be engaged right throughout.
Core's got to be engaged, right?
Yeah.
So this is basically just for your lower body type of exercise, right? Agility is good for the athletes to work on the balance, to work on the strength, to work on the speed. So this is basically while we're performing this.
Beautiful stuff. And how are we incorporating the workout? Are you going for time? You're going for reps?
So basically what I recommend to my clients is to include this either at the start of the session or at the end of the session, right?
Beautiful
And I will
stuff.
recommend doing about 15 to 20 minutes. And this you can actually be performing these exercises at home. And then after that, I'll recommend doing some strength training just to get, the blood pumping through the muscles.
Gains.
As well.
Paul, you're not coming through. Thank you so much, brother. If you want to get more of your fitness journey accelerated, then find this guy online. He's got all the sources, all the tips you need. And on top of that, you can clearly see I've got a workout on. I hope you enjoyed that. It's Kickstart Monday. Whew, nice stuff, man. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's one way to warm yourself up. Stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. Maybe go refill your coffee cup, because when we get back, we have a very special guest in studio. Jack de Priester joining us, and of course, talking about the power of story time. And we'll keep you updated, perhaps with our version of story time, but the latest in what's happening in the world of entertainment. That and a whole lot more on its way, so stay tuned.
It's my feel good. You can Generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
Look at my face. I'm even more excited than I normally am, which is saying a lot, because I'm always really excited. But this is incredibly special. For the past few weeks, Cadbury has been calling on all of us South Africans to generously give our voices to narrate the magical children's stories found on the Cadbury Homegrown Stories Library, which is a gold mine. And the aim is to make story time more enjoyable and, most importantly, accessible for all, sharing audio stories now in 11 official languages. This is
I
amazing.
love this story. Well, gather round on the mat, because one person who has truly embraced this is Jack de Priester, a treasured Afrikaans singer, songwriter and father of two. Besides listening to stories he shares through his music, we can now also listen to his voice as he narrates stories on the Cadbury Homegrown Stories audio library. Thank you for joining us today, Jack.
Wow.
So,
Hey,
David,
what do you think? Am I going to be in?
You are more than a pro.
Yes,
but
man.
that was an audition, eh?
That was.
That was, I wonder if Cadbury, they just thought probably.
They're going to have to watch this, but they're going to have to watch this. There's no way around it. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing, yeah. And I'm the Afrikaans voice.
Yes.
So, yeah, it was awesome. We recorded in Cape Town at Woodstock at the studios. Beautiful stories. And I think it's important for the kids of South Africa you know, it's South African stories.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And that's very important because we are so many different, diverse cultures. And through stories, we're going to learn more about our country and about people in South Africa.
And about ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the
Because we
thing.
get to see ourselves represented in these stories.
That's
and
true.
it is so vitally important from a literacy perspective that we do
Yes.
foster this love of learning. But there is something so powerful in a child being able to see themselves
yeah.
represented in a different way.
That's so true. And eventually, when they're older, then I think stories are very important to tell things about themselves because you can actually get to know your kids by story time. You know, at school, this is happening. Eventually, it's not reading stories, but just sharing what's happening at school, you know, that kind of thing. And that's very important. And I think stories lead to that communication between a parent and a child.
So you've discussed the importance of this, which is wonderful, but surely you have a favorite story that you've narrated, that you've just like gotten sunken into. You just thought, okay, now I'm going to become the best Jack de Priester I can be in this one, and I'm going to do voices. And which one was it for you?
No, well, for me, it was my first time, but there was a guy called Charles van Heiningen. He's a very popular, very famous voice artist in Afrikaans.
Yes.
Yeah. And he was so eventually I had to be different characters because you can't just read the story.
Yeah, you
Gotta
can't-
act,
yes.
bro.
If you are Sipu, then you got to be Sipu. If you are afraid, then you got to be. So I can't really say there was a favorite. They were all very different. I got into it, and then it was like, and then I was all the characters.
It's liberating. It's liberating.
Very much so.
The only problem is that you become the storyteller then in your house, and my
Yeah.
kids demand me to read the stories because I get so emotionally invested in that process.
Exactly. You have to be emotionally invested.
And
Because then it's the truth.
Very
if you're
true.
just going to read it, it's going to be so boring.
it lives, and it lives in their imagination in a way that we can't even understand anymore because kids' minds are like that. All of this being said, you get a lot of offers to jump on board a lot of campaigns.
Yeah.
There was something about this that mattered more to you. What do you hope to achieve through your beautiful narration?
Well, I think just that importance of storytelling. And
Yeah.
I hope a lot of kids just enjoy it, and it's there for free for the whole of South Africa. It's there for everybody, and for me to be that voice for the Afrikaans community, whoever understands that the language. It's amazing. And I hope we can do more and more and more. Eventually, it's a library. That's what it's all about.
So how do we get involved? I mean, I'm sure so many different people would like to add their language and the
Yeah.
way they speak their language in a unique type of way. How do we add those voices to new stories?
Well, definitely go on www.cadbury.co.za and
right.
then they'll just find their way.
We get to see what this means. It's great for those of us who live in our perfect little bubbles. But it's for those that haven't ever had access to these stories, where you see that trajectory, that climb happens so quickly with literacy. So thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. And you can generously give a voice to Storytime with Cadbury's homegrown audio library. Simply grab your favorite Cadbury Dairy Milk, your loved ones, and visit cadbury.co.za to select a story in your home language to get started.
Yep, then get into front of a mirror and start practicing those character voices, because you're going to need them. But your first stop has to be the Cadbury Generosity Storytime studio near you. Then you can add your voice to the homegrown library for others to enjoy. It's absolutely amazing. Visit cadbury.co.za for all of the details, and then follow the conversation online. Hashtag Cadbury Give a Voice, and at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook, then at Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram. Yuck, we love you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
Lovely, and we lived happily ever after.
To be continued.
Now you can generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
Well, it's time for someone to receive a dose of care.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
Well, I've been loving these moments where we give someone a dose of care thanks to Panado. And winter, it is a time for wrapping ourselves in the comforting of love. Now, nominate someone dear to your heart for a meaningful dose of care valued at 2,000 Rand, courtesy of Panado. And we have our next winner on the line. Can we say good morning to Path? Can we get a round of applause? Now, what is so special is the nomination came through from Shushila, who says, my husband definitely needs a dose of care. He is an amazing man and a pensioner, but that doesn't stop him from always doing his best for his family, who always comes first above everything. Now, I believe we have Path on the line. Good morning, Path.
Actually, you have his wife on the line.
Oh, the one that did the wonderful nomination. That is absolutely incredible. Tell me a little bit more about this amazing husband of yours.
Well, he's actually a very hardworking person. He's always there for everybody. He's always on the move. He's very strict, but he's also a very fair person who's always helping other people. He's always seen to his family first, no matter what.
Oh, that is so special. How long have you guys been married for?
In October would be 36 years.
36 years, that is absolutely incredible. And I love that you've nominated your husband for this dose of care. Do you have any words you would love to say to him, just to, you know, wrap up this incredible family man that you have in your life?
I always tell him every day that we're so thankful to have him, and I still would like to say the same today. We really appreciate all that he does for us. We always appreciate that he sees to us first and puts us first above everything else. Oh. And we thank him for that.
It sounds like you have a wonderful husband, father, and best friend in your life. So thank you so much for that beautiful nomination, and congratulations. That dose of care is on its way to your family.
Thank you so much.
There we go, our winner for today. And you at home, you can make winter brighter by nominating a loved one for a heartwarming dose of care with Panado.
Being a parent can be challenging, but stepping out is when things get real complicated. That's why new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets are here to make the job easier. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere. Panado, a dose of care.
Oh yes, we're still prepping for an incredible show right now. As you can see, the sound checking is going down. Laz is in the background here with Ruben. And of course, Yak, it's going to be special. And we're also diving into the world of entertainment and all things entertainment news. Yes, it's going to be hyped. It's going to be exciting. And we've got you for the next. We'll see you in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. Oh, it's sounding good.
The best way to show you care is by giving someone a little winter warmth. That's why Panado is asking you to nominate someone who needs that warmth with a 2,000 Rand dose of care cash. Each weekday from the 17th to the 28th of July on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter or Instagram pages. Nominate your choice by using #PanadoSA and #ADoseOfCare and transform the winter of someone close to you. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel good.
But more attention over the weekend from stars to box office releases and all the buzz in between. Weekends are a whirlwind of activity in the entertainment world. So let's cozy up to our entertainment news desk and rewind through the highlights in case you've missed anything, and a couple of big stories for us to try to wrap our heads around as well. One particular that I think has got the internet blowing up, because she's blowing up the internet at the moment. Uncle Waffles is headed to New York, baby. And I love the title, the first of a list of curated shows. Is that the most modern word that you can AI? She just went to the chatbot and was like, what's the coolest word to use right now? Curated is that, but it's massive for her, man.
It's massive, it's working. She's got an entire nation behind her and everybody else that goes to a show. The amount of hype that she's creating online is insane.
Well, we saw it with Asylum, where you don't often see a DJ smashing those kind. I mean, it's quite an elite field to get that superstar status as a DJ. We understand that you can get the big spots, you can get the residencies, but to have both of those sides matched, and then online, she's just got her army, her babies, as she calls them, and they are supporting, man.
But I think it's just the way she does things. She's doing something special, she's doing it different, and she's not just a DJ. When you see her perform, it is so much more than that.
It's curated, bro.
That's exactly it. So I think we just bring the story because it's nothing but pride right now.
Well done,
and of course, I think these few shows are going to set a bar and a new sort of way of entertaining, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, thank you, Black Coffee, for paving the way, my friend. Then sadly, this is the kind of story that we absolutely hate to address. And this broke a couple of days ago, obviously, as tributes continue to pour in for South African actor Bradley Olafia, who sadly passed away on the 20th earlier last week. An incredible actor. Just chatting to, I'd never had the opportunity to work with him. Obviously, he'd made a name for himself within Binnenlanders, but I remember him from Bakhat and Bakhat 2, and his body of work is so impressive. But chatting to people who knew him within the industry, and you can see from the kinds of tributes, none of the sensationalized, I'm going to jump on board just to try and get a piece of that social media slice because someone has passed. Just such beautiful, heartfelt sharing of memories of how professional he was on set and how amazing he was to work with. And I think I'm going to echo what the family asked in their statement, to not speculate as to why he passed. He passed peacefully was what was said in the statement, but you can't help but wonder. So I think everyone within our industry just needs to
I think the biggest thing that I saw online was the fact that people grew so close to him as a character and as someone that conveyed a message and expressed. He really drew a connection with South Africans. And I think that's why they're hurting right now, because they really felt for
one of us.
They really resonate with him, and he was so young, 36 years old. It hurts, and I really feel for the family right now and for everybody that was in his corner. So our condolences do go out to everyone suffering right now from that. But yeah, from a little bit of a sad news, we head to things a little bit more lighter note.
It couldn't have been a bigger moment, and I know David Beckham was in tears as Leo did what Leo does, and he won his first game for Inter Miami
with the final minutes.
With the most messy free kick that you've ever seen in your life. And I think you can understand why the emotions boiled up. Imagine the risk that David Beckham took, putting all of his going all in, literally, with American football. But Posh and Bex just look like they are dominating at the moment. But the A-list stars who stepped out to be fans, to fangirl and fanboy over Messi, that is amazing.
So like it was a Kardashian with a son there, and he was like a massive fan. I saw one of Serena or Venus Williams in the crowd as well. Oh, here we go.
Imagine being able to see that free kick live, and of course Saint getting very up close and personal. I mean, it helps when your folks are like the most famous people in the world.
It kind of does fast-track the line to get to famous people.
But what I love about this is it doesn't matter how famous you are, you're still a fanboy of someone.
That's what I think is so cool.
And it is, man. But you can imagine the amount of money, and with everyone expecting Messi to go to Saudi Arabia or to within that financial block. They obviously invested a huge amount to bring him to the US, and boy, it's probably returned that investment.
I think he has.
One game.
I saw an article, the tickets used to be like $30 or something. They've gone up to like $3,000 in some places. So he's making an impact.
Try and pick up a shirt, buddy. Try and pick up an official shirt.
Here's a story for me, though, that has really made impact. I've been following for so long. I'm inspired by this man. He's so talented. We're talking about Jamie Foxx, and it's the first time that he's speaking out since his crazy health scare earlier this year. And this was insane. And we actually got a little up some for you just to check it out first before we actually talk about this one, because, this one hit home.
First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that's prayed, man, and sent me messages. I cannot even begin to tell you how far it took me and how it brought me back. I went through something that I thought I would never ever go through. And I know a lot of people were waiting, or wanting to hear updates, but to be honest with you, I just didn't want you to see me like that, man. I want you to see me laughing, having a good time, partying, cracking a joke, doing a movie, television show. I didn't want you to see me with tubes running out of me and trying to figure out if I was gonna make it through. And to be honest with you, my sister Deidre Dixon, my daughter Corinne Marie saved my life.
I'm getting a sense he hasn't wrapped his head around what's going on within the context of his own life. Do you know any more? What is your
so many questions surrounding this man. I mean, listen, he hasn't said exactly what happened. He went through hell and back, as he said himself, right?
He looks different.
There's been speculation going on. It's been crazy. And all of this happening in this weird moment where he had this crazy movie release of They Cloned Tyrone, which was something that caused even more conversation. So there's all this questioning going on about what actually happened. But I think right now everyone's just relieved that he's showing his face, he's okay, and I think the rest is still to be found out. So yeah, man.
Well, that's why we cannot put it down. We love to track what the people we love, and we do love these stars because they give us so much. We want to know they're okay. And once again, we're going to reiterate to Bradley Olivia's family, we send you all our love and condolences. A massive loss for our industry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, listen, it's time for us to bring a little bit of music and inject that into your Monday morning. And after an incredible 2-decade-long journey in the South African entertainment scene, the renowned Jacques Priester, it's my turn to chat to him. After you heard all about the power of stories, it's time for us to welcome the celebrated Cape Townian on our Expresso stage to serenade you with some heartfelt songs as well as chatting about his latest projects. Jak, is nou so lekker vir my dat ek nou met jou kan gesels.
Absolutely, ja. En dis vroeg, hè. Ek het elke keer soveel respek as ek sien hoe mooi julle lyk this time in the morning.
Oh, dankie. Well, you know what? You're not here alone because your new project is, and I need to make sure I don't mess this up, Jak de Priester en die Kaapse Lawaaimakers. You have Ruben Davids here with you as part of the Kaapse Lawaaimakers. What is this project all about?
Well, you know, we moved to Cape Town, it's almost 3 years now. And Cape Town's got a different vibe when it comes to music. It's something that's, there's so many amazing musicians. En toe dink ek wil bietjie 'n Kaapse band bymekaar sit. So we're preparing now. This is the first song that I wrote for the Kaapse Lawaaimakers, but it's going to be a vibey thing. So Ruben is joining me this morning. He's the bass player. But we have great musicians, drums and keyboard players and trumpets. And so it's going to be a lawaai.
Oh, dit gaan 'n lawaai wees. Of hulle nou groot of klein nie is, dit gaan 'n lawaai wees.
Ja, so maar die Kaapse Lawaaimakers.
'n Kaapse Lawaaimakers en dis mos lekker musiek dit.
Exactly.
Okay, well listen, we don't want to miss out on anything. We will chat more about your upcoming album that's releasing pretty soon. But for now, here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, here's Jak de Priester en die Kaapse Lawaaimakers, Nothing Much to Lose.
Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, as long as you have money. Doesn't matter if you cry out loud, as long as you be heard. Doesn't matter if you walk through the darkness, as long as you have shoes. Doesn't matter if you ain't got nothing, then there's nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose, and nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose. Doesn't matter if you dress from a cheap store, as long as you can shine. Doesn't matter if you're last in the queue standing, as long as you're in line. Doesn't matter if you take too long, as long as you be there. Doesn't matter if the world is changing, as long as you still care. But even if this world is a crazy place, even if my life is a living race, even if my life is a running shoe, no matter if it's crazy, as long as I have you, 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 as long as I have you. Doesn't matter if you feel so mad, as long as you forgive. Doesn't matter if you're so in love, as long as you don't leave. Doesn't matter if you reach for the stars, as long as you are free. Doesn't matter if they say love is blind, but as long as you can see. And even if this world is a crazy place, even if my life is a living race, even if this world is a running shoe, no matter if it's crazy, as long as I have you. Doesn't matter if you're heading for a fall, as long as you can rise. Doesn't matter if you read all those books, as long as you'll be wise. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, as long as you can learn. Doesn't matter you ain't got nothing, then there's nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose, nothing much to lose.
Priester on your feel-good breakfast show with nothing much to lose. That was fantastic. I love that we have one of the Kaapse Lawaai markers with you. Ruben, stick around because we want both of you to keep performing and make sure our Monday starts off on the right note.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, we love talking sport at the start of a brand new week, but it feels like the sport at the moment has a different significance. And as the anticipation builds for the debut of the Netball World Cup here on South African terrain, both fans and players are on the edge of their seats. Undoubtedly, this momentous event will be a career highlight for many of our South African ladies, and I think for the fans, an unforgettable opportunity to get up close and personal to this beautiful game and story. Now, before the exhilaration of the court action commences and significant time, resources and passion, that real strength of character have been invested in orchestrating the competition's intricate logistics. It's quite hectic, and to shed light on these behind-the-scenes intricacies, we are privileged to have the president of Netball South Africa, Cecilia Molokwane, with us today, and she's brought some stuff. She's brought along something really shiny and beautiful and so special. Cecilia, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for doing this. How are you? Less than a week before the World Cup. Are you still sane? Are you still healthy? Put us in the picture.
I'm healthy. I'm not sane. I'm anxious because it's the first time in 60 years that this is happening on African soil, let alone in South Africa. And we've been part of this World Cup from 1963. So I'm anxious because I don't know what's going to happen. And I anticipate a lot of things to happen.
As you should.
And we want to show the world that South Africa can do it. And we have done it before with the rugby, we've done it with the cricket, we've done it with the football, and many other sporting codes that people don't even know that they hosted the World Cup. But this time it's women leading. Women leading, because all the time it was rugby is men, football is men, cricket
it's
is
the
men.
firm. It's the firm.
You understand?
Now
So
the firm is changing.
This is our time. Give it to us.
I'm so glad that you started with that as our port of departure, because it feels like the significance, the gravitas behind women's sport right now, it's a quantum leap forward. We saw it with the cricket that we hosted here in South Africa. The television numbers were off the charts. There was so much momentum. Do you feel like you're doing this for the sporting code? Do you feel like you're doing this for the young sporting girl? What drives you to survive all of the insanity in the eye of the storm right now? Where does the passion come from?
Knowing that we're changing the narratives and knowing that I'm part of those people that are changing the narratives, because when me and you at our age were playing, nobody cared about women's sport. So we're saying women are also players. In football, they all play 90 minutes.
Yeah.
In netball, we all play an hour. So to me, it's if we can all be on a football field and play 90 minutes, like the Banyana played with Sweden yesterday.
Beautiful.
I mean, it means what is the difference between the one that is playing 90 minutes being a female and the one that is being a male? So we are saying to the young girls, it's possible. You can also make a career out of sport, and you can also be taken.
You can get an education out of sport. You don't have to play for your national team to get a university education, to get, I don't want to say a free ride because you'll work for it, but there are massive shortcuts here to life, hacks, if you will, to life. All of that being said, logistically, with so many teams, this must be crazy. What has been the biggest challenge bringing this all together?
The biggest challenge, I'll tell you, is corporate world.
Really?
They don't believe in women's sport.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. There are those, I mean, we have to say thank you to Spa.
For sure.
You know,
because they've been there for a while.
I've always said they are good for netball. When they even know, all of them, I said, Spa is not good for you. It's good for netball. I always say thank you to Telkom. Yeah. They say, Telkom, leave your monat. I say, no, leave your netball. Because they believed in us when nobody believed in us. And they said, we want to be there for you. And we want to make this a reality for you guys. So to me, the biggest challenge is the corporate world. Because
money.
Money. And for you to do anything in the world, it's about money.
Well, TV is money, and the two work hand in hand, and the professional era of women's sport feeds in and out of TV. So it's this little balancing act that we've got to get right. How do you prepare for the performance of our Proteas? How do you work around that? Do they have to win this thing for this to be a success? How do you put into perspective the national team? Because we've got the small matter of our team playing against the best in the world, and that's got to be our first kind of agenda, or not. How do you wrap your head around that?
I always say the Spa Proteas, then the World Cup.
Okay.
So it's not the other way around. Firstly, the girls have to perform, then we have to deliver the best netball World Cup. So to me, we have taken care of the girls. Never I don't think there's a Spa Protea team that has been taken care of like the one that we have now. Because I was with them yesterday. I mean, the girls are in such good spirit. I couldn't believe, because some of them, I've never seen them laugh as they were laughing. And I was like, wow.
Certainly not a week before this.
You know, and a week, no, days.
Yeah.
4 days. I mean, it was 5 days before the tournament. And they were laughing and having fun, because they were wearing other pants yesterday, other shorts. And they were like, see us fly. And I'm like, are you really flying? It's like, President, see us fly. And when they say that, you know that the girls are ready. And we have prepared them. I mean, our Project Victory, there's Project Victory that started 2 years ago to prepare this team, to make sure that when we go on the 6th of August, we really end up on that medal podium. And I want to say thank you to everybody who was involved in Project Victory. I mean, it was done behind closed doors, you know, and people wanted this team to perform. And we are saying, I don't think the team will disappoint, because the girls, the way I've seen them, they want it more than me and you. I can tell you that, because they said, President, we hear you, you want this, but let's tell you, we want it more than you.
Listen, I think they'd be hard-pressed to want it more than you, girl, because I have a feeling that this is one of those watershed moments of your life. So congratulations for getting to this point. Oh, no, you're not going to stay sane, so just stay strong through this final push, but you've done it. The nation is behind you. The games are sold out. We are ready to see you deliver, and it looks like you're going to do just that. And, of course, the ladies will step up, because that's what they're made of. Cecilia, thank you so much. Break a leg this week. Break a leg, and just everything that needs to fall into place, let it fall into place. Of course, most importantly, our ladies dominating and do what they deserve, and that's earn their seat at the head of the table. Cecilia, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best of luck.
I always say, when you want a job done, send a woman. It shall be done.
Exactly.
I love that. I'm not a woman, but I'm going to try and compete and, of course, take on these duties once again. Now, starting with national news right now, AmaZulu King Misuzulu Khazwelatini says men should be ashamed about the alarming figures of gender-based violence. Now, he was the keynote speaker at the second annual National Men's Day Against Gender-Based Violence and Femicide at the King Zwelithini Stadium in Umlazi, Durban. Now, this took place on Saturday. Now, the Zulu monarch called on men to stand up and speak out against such acts. And he said, with a quote, "The citation makes one doubt if we are real men." Sorry, the situation makes one doubt if we are real men. "I am pleading with you, my people, about this disgraceful act that a woman must never be abused." Unquote. Well, carrying on with the rest of the headlines, all 8 police VIP Protection Service unit members caught on video assaulting 3 people on the N1 freeway in Johannesburg earlier this month have been arrested. Now, the arrests were effected yesterday afternoon by the Independent Police Investigative Directorate at the Sandton Police Station in Johannesburg. Now, the officers will appear in the Randburg Magistrates Court later today, and all 8 officers are expected to face charges of assault, malicious damage to property, and the pointing of a firearm. Now, they were part of Deputy President Paul Mashatile's secretary detail. Well, carrying on with the headlines and moving to international news right now, Pope Francis said yesterday that recent heat waves across many parts of the world and flooding in South Korea showed that more urgent action was needed to tackle climate change. Now, a quote coming through saying, "I renew my appeal to world leaders to do something more concrete to limit polluting emissions." Now, this being said by the Pope himself at the end of his Angelus message to crowds in St. Peter's Square in Rome. Now, it cannot be postponed. It concerns everyone. That's another quote that he added. And meanwhile, at least 30 people have been killed in Afghanistan after floods caused by heavy monsoon rain washed away homes. Well, carrying with international headlines, the military government in Mali has adopted a new constitution that enhances the powers of the president and the armed forces. Now, it also demotes French from an official to a working language. Now, Mali has been ruled by a military junta since 2020, and the opposition has vehemently denounced the reforms, which the Electoral Commission says were backed by 97% of votes cast in last month's referendum. Now, the new constitution means interim President Colonel Assimi Goïta now has the power to dissolve parliament. Well, lastly, in our headlines, the Barbie film has become the US and Canada's biggest film of the year so far. Now, an estimated $155 million was made in its opening weekend, and meanwhile, the new release of Oppenheimer, also out on Friday, made $93.7 million in the US. Now, these features at a time when cinemas in general are struggling as they lose out to competition from streaming. Oppenheimer's plot is centered on the development of the first atomic bomb. Barbie tells a coming-of-age story of the children's character where she explores her identity and encourages boyfriend Ken to establish individuality. Well, there's more headlines to come. Of course, we dive into sport next, and G has the latest.
Thank you so much, Raul. Mixed feelings about this one as we dive in with football and with the heartbreaking defeat to Sweden in the opening round of the FIFA Women's World Cup encounter yesterday. Now behind them, Banyana will be hoping to get their first win of the tournament when they face Group G rivals Argentina at the Dunedin Stadium, and that's on the 28th of July. The African champions, they scored the first goal against the Swedes through Hilda Machaya, but their victory was sadly short-lived as the third-ranked side in the world bounced back to seal a 2-1 victory, getting that final goal on the 90th minute. Machaya also took a nasty knock when scoring that goal, but it does seem that she will be fine to face Argentina on Friday. Then on to cricket. Sadly, rain weighing in to give us the result. Australia have retained the Ashes. That was after the fourth test against England at Old Trafford ended in a rain-affected draw, with bad weather meaning no play was possible on Sunday's final day. So that result ensured that Australia, as the holders, keep the Ashes at 2-1 up with one match left to play in the series. So regardless of the result next week in that fifth test at the Oval. Now, heavy overnight rain, as you can see on the pitch left, the outfield sodden and play was unable to start as scheduled in Manchester. That rain continued throughout the day and meant that there was not a single ball bowled before the result was given. Now, a momentous weekend in Formula One, and you might not think so, watching Max Verstappen just cruise to another majestic victory at the Hungarian Grand Prix, now reeling off a record 12th straight win for Red Bull. The defending double world champion grabbed the lead from pole sitter Lewis Hamilton at the start and then pretty much remained in control for his 7th successive victory, his 9th in 11 races this year and 44th of his career. But more significantly, it was the constructor Red Bull's 12th consecutive win. It's not making me emotional, breaking a 35-year-old record that had been shared with McLaren, who won 11 straight races back in 1988 with two certain drivers. You might remember them, Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna, who were the driving pair back then, so quite a moment in history. And speaking of which, one for Brian Harmon as he overcame an early wobble to stroll serenely to his first major title with a 6-shot victory at the 151st Golf Open Championship in Hoylake. So a 1 under 70 proved more than enough for the American, who finished on 13 under at a rain-soaked Royal Liverpool. World number 3 John Ram finished joint second on 7 under with Sepp Straka, Tom Kim and Jason Day. And then, of course, the big star, breakout star this year, SA's Christo Lamprecht. He won the silver medal for the leading amateur finisher after he ended on 11 over par for the tournament. I would imagine his sponsorship roster is now pretty full. And that's where we leave our sport for now. The roads should be waking out, so Zoe will get you to work safely.
Thank you, Graham. Yes, the roads are busy. Starting off in KwaZulu-Natal, Ashburton. There's been an accident on the N3 westbound. There's some congestion after the ramp from Ashburton to after the ramp from Linfield Park. Please approach with caution. Moving to Johannesburg in Gauteng, there's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 northbound after Beyers-Naudé. The right lane is closed. Expect delays. Well, that's your traffic. Let's take another look at your weather. And we start off with some news. Many discussions in SA centre on matters water. Latest news in the regard is that Water and Sanitation Minister Senzo Mchunu says his department's exploring alternatives to surface water sources so as to improve the country's water security. He says these alternatives, which include groundwater, desalination of seawater, return flows from treated wastewater systems, and the the reuse of other poor quality water, such as acid mine drainage, have to be explored. Some 70 projects have been identified as ministerial priority actions to address hotspot areas across the country. Whereas some parts of the country have experienced unprecedented amounts of rainfall leading to floods, the country in general still remains without adequate water resources. Let's get into your temperatures for your Monday. In Polokwane, a low of 8 and a high of 27 can be expected. Mbombela, 12.27. Pretoria, 8.24. Johannesburg, 6 with a high of 23. Mahikeng, 6.25. Klerksdorp, 1 with a high of 21. Kimberley, 1 reaching a high of 18. Bloemfontein, -4 with a high of 18. Richards Bay, 11 with a high of 18. Pietermaritzburg, rainy conditions, a low of 5, a high of 15. Durban, 12.18. Mthatha, 2.18. East London, 7 with a high of 18 and sunny. Cradock, -1 with a high of 15. Gqeberha, your low is 4, your high 17. George, sunny with a low of 2, a high of 14. Cape Town, 6, reaching a high of 15. Worcester, 3, 16. Sutherland, -2 and a high of 12. And Uppington, your low is 2, your high 21 degrees Celsius. Well, those are temperatures for today. Let's take another look at your sunrise views. Now, kicking us off for your 7 a.m. update is Ivana from Kariga, sharing this beautiful moment where the sun is rising over the mountains. Omi in Keimouse is snapped this outstanding moment on the horizon, and that's from her home. Thank you for that, Omi. And Rena in East London captured an absolute piece of art. Look at those colors. And we have Irene from Pietermaritzburg, who is out and about enjoying some hot chocolate and shared her morning view with us. Well, please continue to share those good morning sunrise views. Our number is 063 408 8863.
Thank you so much, Zoe. And we're going to share something else with you this morning. Now, OctaFX, South Africa's most reliable trading platform, is turning 12, and we are celebrating their birthday. And how we're doing this is by giving you the chance to win some incredible prizes, which include PlayStations, iMacs, MacBooks, VR headsets, and so much more. Yeah, I know that got you interested. Now, the contest starts on the 31st of July, but you can register right now already. So the competition is open to both new and existing users. So if you don't have an account, just download the OctaFX app and register an account, and then you can enter. So to enter, all you have to do is trade at least 2 lots from the 31st of July till the 14th of August. Now, 2 lots equals 1 ticket. So the more lots you trade, the more tickets you get. And of course, the better your chances of winning. It's making sense, right? Now, the OctaFX platform is packed with absolutely incredible educational materials to assist both new and experienced traders. So if you are always and have always wanted to get into trading, then this is definitely your time to do it. What are you waiting for? Go get your trade on.
Thank you so much, friend. Now, we had so much fun on TikTok on Friday. I can't tell if it was our brilliance or our silliness that got us trending, but we'll dive back into what happened on our timeline over the weekend. Have a little bit of fun reliving that. Then, of course, big news. Mark Lottering has another show. Now, the big news would be Mark Lottering taking a holiday for like a day and not being on stage, but he's back at the Theatre on the Bay with a brand new comedy show, and we are here for him because he's so beautiful. Look at that. Are you working or are you not working? What? Working it. Watch South Africa versus Scotland live in France in a once-in-a-lifetime rugby experience brought to you by Clover. Catch a Boss Henry's ultimate show by Springbok legend Skulk Burger. 5 winners and their partners will be winging their way to France. Plus, take a cruise to the Mediterranean island paradise of Ibiza. Buy any Clover product to enter. Watch Expresso Breakfast Show every weekday morning for more information on how you can win.
Made with love by Clover. It's my feel good.
Oh, Yes, Zanze. Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Monday and we're giving you all the feels you need to kickstart and slay the week ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got you. And on top of that, it's time to take another look at what's on our feed. As you know, we come to you live right here on S3, but we're also live in the palm of your hand on all social media platforms, YouTube and SABC Plus. I see you. Good morning. How you doing? No, we absolutely love bringing you content that gives that instant feel-good mood. So enter G-Man. Bring it on.
Buddy, well, it's getting quite difficult to know which camera you should be looking at now, because every time you look at a camera, there's like 5 cell phones as well. But I love the fact that we get to connect in real time. So thank you so much. And what I love about our feed is it's a two-way flow, because we get, yes, we obviously get to connect with you and feed some content, but we get so much in response. So today's video was an introduction to the Expresso's first rugby team, if you will, and I'm glad I made the nod. Checking who would beat the legendary Cheslin Colby at a sidestep, goose step, little goosey. So let's take a look.
Here's how we sidestep.
Woo!
Are you ready?
Yo! Yo! 1, 2, 1, 2. Stop! 3, 2, 1, go, go, go! You gotta go see them. Go see.
That's how Lucian leaves the studio every day. People try and slow him down, ask, "Oh, Lucian, we need to do this." And he's like, "Wow, wow."
I'm out, y'all. Cheers.
Well, obviously, because we are a community, we ask for your input and you deliver. You, our loyal viewers, are always ready to weigh in. So let's get through some of your comments, how you, what you felt about our first team's performance. Sasha Taylor, team captain for the win. Lucian Albertine.
It's that
I
accuracy
agree.
for sure. Candice Yada comes through next and says, I think she's saying, laugh me klaar, yeah. Let me know, lekker laat lach. I'm not sure what that is, Beaufort West. I'm not sure. Maybe I could get some last input.
The whole caption is just explained, Beaufort West. Everyone from Beaufort West will understand. Kirst saying Nicole is my favorite. I know, I think Nicole is my favorite as well.
Yeah. Courtney Peterson
okay,
says,
maybe I have a new favorite.
the captain, aka Lucian Alberton, sidesteps looks like is coming for you in a street fight. Oh yeah.
I think you can speak from experience. Diane saying, Ral, I know you can step better than that, my guy. I thought you were quite quick there.
I thought it was okay, man. Give me some studs and then we can get some traction, okay?
But we did have a lot of fun doing that. So thank you so much for weighing in. Sia saying, oh, wow, love the challenge. I'm a little bit stiff still. Justine saying, I wish I could work with guys. With us guys or with guys in general?
If you want us.
Ask Zoe's advice first before you want to work with guys, especially these guys. She might have something else to say.
But yeah, thank you, Zazi, for coming through and letting us know that we're not that bad at ruggers. We definitely are still in the spirit of things. Obviously, back our books as they head over to France. But this is what it's about, the spirit of the ruggers. And, of course, getting you involved in all the fun.
France!
Oh, you guys are such gentlemen, don't worry. But if you add a ball, it gets a little bit crazy. But we are now about to turn our attention to our skin. And who knows better skin than our local skin experts? Squin is a brand that understands South African skin and is familiar with the environment that our skin is exposed to. Now, here to tell us more about local beauty that gives back is formulation chemist from Squin, Shannon Hounsell. It's so great to have you here.
Lovely to be here, thank you.
We love local brands and we love Squin. From your opinion, what makes it so great for consumers to consider local brands, especially given the fact that it's manufactured here for our skin?
Well, firstly, I think local skincare brands in South Africa have a deep understanding of the local climates and the harsh UV rays that our skin is exposed to. In addition, in South Africa, our target audience is specifically Fitzpatrick 3 to Fitzpatrick 6 skin types, which is very different to consumers in Europe, for instance. So local skincare brands are better equipped to formulate products that cater to the specific needs of our South African audience. For instance, Squin's Rose Gold Deep Tissue Concentrate was specifically formulated to combat skin damage caused by frequent sun exposure. One of its key ingredients, rosehip oil, is harvested and produced locally in Limpopo, showcasing how local brands empower communities by incorporating naturally sourced ingredients.
That is incredible, and I love that Squin does that, but I also know that Squin has its own sustainability journey that it is on. Can you tell me how Squin's been making a difference?
Well, I think Squin's sustainability story really is a journey. Recently, we've launched refillable beauty for some of our products to help minimize or reduce single-use plastics. Plus, we offer waterless skincare products that contain potent and concentrated actives. But I think our sustainability efforts go beyond packaging and water conservation. We believe true sustainability starts with the ingredients that we use in our products. And that's why we make sure to incorporate clean, natural ingredients that are non-toxic to both the environment and your skin.
I love that you're touching on ingredients, because that was literally going to be my next question. What are some of those key ingredients that Squin believes in?
So Squin's ingredient process encompasses active ingredients that are scientifically proven to be effective, such as hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, your ceramides, and vitamin A. In addition, we also incorporate ingredients that are natural and offer multifunctional skin benefits and are sourced right here on the African continent, which we call A-Beauty. So some of our A-Beauty ingredients that we incorporate is marula oil, shea butter, baobab seed oil, and buchu.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I also love what I'm seeing in front of me. You guys always come out with really revolutionary products for our skin. Talk to me about what I'm seeing in front of me.
So in front of you is Squin's latest product launched. It is our Nano Power Serum range, which is actually the first product of its kind to launch in the global beauty market. It's a waterless delivery system that is formulated with 100% active ingredients that are encapsulated within tiny fibers and pressed into small, soft, skin-loving pillows. By utilizing nanotechnology, we were able to incorporate much higher percentages of active ingredients, such as 20% hyaluronic acid, 25% vitamin C, and 17% niacinamide, all without any water in the product.
Okay, so is that what is in here?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so how would you use it? Is it like a little...
It is a little tablet. I can do a quick demonstration.
Let's see it.
If everyone would like to see. So I'll pick up the Pixie Dust Nanopillow.
There we go. Still
Pop it
sealed, brand
open.
new. Okay, so it's tiny little...
It's tiny little pillows. I just want to get one out. So essentially, this is what your nano pillow looks like. And it goes hand in hand with your Skin PJ's Activator Face Mist that is used to activate the ingredients incorporated within the nano pillows. And upon a few spritz, you'll see how the nanofibers instantly dissolve.
Oh!
And then you turn it into your serum.
Oh,
and that's what you
that?
apply to your skin.
That's like magic. And that's what you apply to your skin.
Yes.
That is your serum.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. So this, what we have here, our Skin PJs, is the activating face mist.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Oh, this is incredible. And I know you guys have also been on a journey of your own where customers have been using it and they've been doing these different trials.
Yeah.
What have you guys found?
So we conducted a user trial with 100 people, 50 of which who trialed the Wawa Wonder Plus Pro Collagen Nanopillow Face Serum, and the other 50 participants who trialed the Pixie Dust Nanopillow Serum for a period of 28 days. After 28 days, 97% of our participants agreed that their skin felt and appeared to be visibly plumper. 80% of the participants said that they'd noticed a difference in the appearance of their fine lines. 98% of the participants said that their skin felt hydrated throughout the day. And I think the big one is that 83% of the participants said that based on the effectiveness of the nanopillows over those 28 days, that they would prefer using the nanopillow serum over a traditional liquid serum. And I think that's the real clincher.
That is, and this is definitely revolutionary. I love that you've brought this to our table and to your screens, but also that you've demonstrated just how incredible the technology and the thought has gone into what the Squin brand is all about. Shannon, thank you for joining us this morning. And for you, beauty that gives back, show love to your favorite local skincare heroes. And you can shop this at Woolworths, in-store, online, as well as on the Woolies app.
Oh, can you believe it's only Monday? But there's so much to still look forward to, and especially on the show right now. Coming up, we are diving into the world of Clement Gold. Yes, these mandarins are doing incredible things, and we're going to infuse in a recipe. We're using salmon, we've got tender stem broccoli, we've got mash, and oh, it's looking delicious. Don't go anywhere. On top of that, the one and only Mark Lottering is going to be talking about his new show. Yes, all the excitement is aboard, so don't do anything. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you just after this.
Don't let a cough spoil your family's work or play this winter. Expresso cough syrup is effective in helping to relieve congestion, and it does not contain alcohol or tartrazine. This July on Expresso, 2 lucky viewers stand a chance to win 5,000 Rand cash prize in cash each. Simply reply to the competition question on Expresso's Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages using hashtag Expresso and hashtag HealthyFam, in your answer. T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back. It's that time of the morning to fill up on some hot coffee. Take a deep breath. Pause. It's time to hit pause with Jacobs.
Yes, it's that moment indeed. Let me just, before we do.
Oh, yeah.
It's tradition indeed. Now, this morning, I want to take you through something special. I want to talk about friendship right now. We've had this conversation, we've had this discussion with Zanzi, but let's dive into it right now, especially when it comes to friendships, not with anybody in particular, but friendships with ourselves. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Now, this is the question I want to put forward to the table. Are you a good friend to yourself? Now, here's an example, right? There's that voice in your head that's always lifting you up, that's kind of like getting you to either work or give up, right? do you listen to this voice? What's the narrative happening when you're going through your day and your obstacles? So you look like you got a big smile on your face there.
Oh, no, you know what? I often have to remind myself to be kind to myself. So unfortunately, my voice's first reaction is very critical. And then the voice needs to change, you know, she goes through many, many stages before she's nice.
I've caught you in some negative self-talk before and had to be like, hey, listen, okay, I think you need, yeah.
I got the papa. Watch that self-talk.
Yeah, but it's true because I'm the same. I mean, there are a million voices going at any given moment in this head of mine. Some positive, some negative, some have no idea what's going on, and somewhere in the middle we meet. But I've realized more and more, in our line of work especially, that self-talk is powerful, dude. Powerful.
I mean, it changes everything. How hypercritical you are of yourself really changes the perspective in the world, right? My question to you is, do you like when you maybe are, I guess, in an environment where, I guess, you're alone, right? Do you enjoy being alone? Do you enjoy being, like, just kept with your own thoughts, or do you prefer, like, socializing instead?
I'm a bit of both. I think I've changed because I love my little family bubble so much, so I can be alone with my kids, which is cool. Like, I can be in that little bubble, which is a different thing. But I am very comfortable on my own. I'm very happy exploring the dark recesses of my mind on a mountain.
Can go deep, yeah.
I can go there, bro. I'm more than happy. So I'm guessing not so much.
No, actually, I'm naturally more introverted, so I need my me time. I need my alone time. It's good for my mental health to just sometimes process what I can easily get overstimulated.
Yes.
And what's quite amazing now is I think my fiance also understands, oh, so he needs some me time, so he'll go for a long run.
Yeah.
I love that.
Does he keep checking and comes run past the window to see if you're on the balcony, still staring out? He's like, I'll do another lap. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a good reminder for anybody that's actually just working in general, that's in a space where they just like are occupied and consumed. You need to have this time to yourself to kind of like weigh up against all the chaos you're in and come back out of it. And especially in a job that requires you to be stimulated by everything around you, you need your own time just to kind of make sense of it all.
What do you get? Because you do construct a lot of that me time for yourself on the mountain, out there in those spaces, out in the water. What do you get from that?
It literally is my church, man. It fills up my cup in a way that I honestly would not be able to do this without it. Honestly, I 100% that's a fact for me. It literally fills me up in so many ways. It provides me with lessons, with insight, with energy, with fuel. It's the reason why I'm here today, honestly, man. Without it, I don't think I would be able to sustain it. And I think that's an important thing for us to also look at when it comes to ourselves is how are we implementing a better relationship with ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Any ideas from your guys' side? I mean, it's something we don't actually take into account.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Be conscious about it. And I do take a lot of lessons from you, Zoe, because you are quite conscious about constructing that framework around you in terms of what you need for your mental health and your emotional state, which I know we don't get right all the time, but it's a conscious effort to be able to do that. So I think that's the first step for me. I'm just trying to think, like, what does negative self-talk look like for you, dude? Like, I should have run that in 9.8 seconds. Come on, you loser.
I had to eliminate that from the world, honestly. The minute you eliminate that negative conversation, you live in a world of positivity. You live in that silver lining, and that is where the materialization comes aboard. So I don't even entertain that, to be honest with you. It's not even a conversation anymore. It's just like if there's any disappointment, it's just like, come on, you can do better. You've got this. I believe in you.
Yeah, let's do more of that.
You've always got reruns to go back to show that you could do better than that, you know? I love it. So I'm trying to like use my mental strength to manifest a hot coffee, but it's actually delicious. I know it's a chilly morning and we're having iced coffees, but they are so absolutely delicious. So thank you, Jacobs, for providing us with a smile, some positive self-talk in my belly.
Thank you for this conversation. It's always something enlightening. And as cheesy as it might sound to some, you need to do this. You need to be the friend that you need. Now, self-love and self-care needs to be your daily practice and will not only improve your well-being, but it's going to do something absolutely wonderful when it influences not only you, but the people around you too, and especially when your cup is overflowing. So make yourself a cup. Yes, that's a cup of coffee. Hit pause and enjoy your own company. Why? Because you are amazing.
Go and love yourself. Go on.
Cheers.
It really is good.
Oh, we have arrived.
Making an iced cappuccino with thick creamy froth is now impressively easy. Jacobs.
Well, we love connecting with you on social media, and this morning we asked you who in your friend group knows you best. Tell us about your bestie, and you can share voice notes as well as comment on our Facebook post, and that's what you've done. Linda says, good morning, Expresso Show. Definitely my partner. He is my best friend. He knows me very well. Let's see what Avril had to say. She says, my colleagues, they just know when I'm going to be up to mischief when I have the poker face. Okay, so your colleagues will not be able to play poker with you. Then Daphne says, a friend and I have been friends for 76 years. Very special, now together in the same retirement village. Oh, Daphne, that is so, so special. We love all the comments that's been coming through, so please join in on this conversation. Let us know who in your friend group knows you best. Tell us about your bestie. If you want to send us a voice note, you can do that too. Our number is 063 408 8863.
Oh, I love it. You can see the smile. You can't fake a smile like this. My face is already hurting, actually. My face is cramping from smiling so much. Humor has a very unique power to unite people, and our next guest is a maestro in harnessing that power.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the genius of comedy, Mark Laflery!
What an intro.
Wow, the man
We've done
himself.
better. No, we have done better. But it's just getting difficult.
So much pressure now.
Because you're headlining like every week. Do you ever stop, dude? Hey, how do you maintain
people
this
say,
energy?
do you ever stop? But everybody goes to work every day.
Does it feel like work for you, honestly?
Well, I mean, obviously the difference is the money. I make like a lot of money. But no, it doesn't feel like work. I think there's always just this thing that when people see me, even if they're not coming to the theater, if I bump into people in a parking area or whatever, people smile or hopefully laugh. So, so how could that possibly feel like work? I often think to myself.
I'm just thinking of you with cornrows. When did you have the cornrows? Can you bring those back for this show?
No, my problem with you want cornrows back. Sure. And then you get strange fans. Have we spoken about? Because that came from absolutely nowhere.
When you changed your hair that one time.
There was just such intensity around it.
Do you have that though? Because you must have people who are so invested in what you do. Are there people who come to every single show that you do?
Yes, there are, and the security knows about it. But, last week, because at the moment we're at Theatre on the Bay, in Camps Bay. We've been having a great time, and I just come from Monte Cassino Theatre as well, Peter Turin's Monte Cassino Theatre. And I never ever talk about Peter Turin, but I feel that I just want to put it out there that he provides great opportunities, and I've had his name and surname tattooed on my back.
How low down?
I'll show you again. So I was at Peter Turin's Theatre in Camps Bay, and you talk about strange people, but people enjoy comedy, but then some people, I don't know if they take it too far, or maybe they're just so happy. And I'm speaking to this woman, and she says to me, I really enjoyed the show, and I do the normal thing of going, thank you, I really appreciate. And while I'm saying I appreciate the fact that you came out, because it was raining, I said, I appreciate the fact that you came out. I said, I appreciate that. And she said, kiss me.
Ooh, whoa.
And then you think, no, I didn't hear that. And then other people took pics, and she came back again. And the foyer's not very big here in Kansas, so you can't run far. And she comes back again, and she says, kiss me. But she did it in a way where even if you don't believe, that Lucifer dwells amongst us, you sometimes meet people and you go, I'm going to pray for you for a long time. Because, she was there with some other people as well.
How many kisses did she get, though? I think the viewers want to know how many kisses she actually got.
Yeah.
So I wrote that musical, okay? So you did. You wrote that musical.
I wrote that musical, and Expresso, who's singing on the show today, just said to me, So what is it, a musical?
Stand-up,
Is it a
yeah.
stand-up? And then I was traumatized because there was a time when he used to Google me every day to find out exactly what I'm doing. And that's why he is where he is today, because he used to follow my career path.
Inspired.
Your copy and paste.
Yeah, for sure.
But for that colored thing.
He can do the corners.
You can do the corners. You're still there, Graham. And I said to Yak, I'm traumatized that he's not Googling me, because if he was Googling me, it's a stand-up show. So I talk about the fact, because I wrote these Auntie Merle musicals. So I have to, you know, I moved from just being alone on stage to suddenly being with 20 other people on stage. And so the show touches on that. And for me, the big difference, I love being on stage with other people, because when you're going through a hectic time, or when there's load shedding in the theatre, what are we going to do, or what's happening, you can talk.
Else.
So and it's lonely just being the stand-up comedian. But the great thing is, and I told the audience last week, is when you take your bow, when you've been alone on stage, then you realize, I'm not sharing the money.
Except
like,
Peter.
Dancers, you're amazing. Singers, you're amazing. But you're not here tonight.
Peter Turin is, if you feel a
it's Peter Turin.
Peter Turin is like,
Peter Turin.
I think we
understand why I got the tattoo now. It's Peter.
Mark, before you go, listen, it's always great having you here. But just give Mzansi even more reason to get involved. Obviously, the show's still running. What reason do you have for them to buy a ticket right now, apart from making you more money?
By the way, the money issue, I don't have a lot of money, because every time I joke about it and I leave this show, then people come up on Facebook. I'm also a lottering, and my father's mother was actually with your uncle's sister, and they met in Mossel Bay, and now here we all are, poor. So I want to say to people, firstly, it's wonderful seeing in Joburg and in Cape Town that people came out to theatre, and I think there are still people post-COVID who are anxious about leaving home.
For sure.
But I want to say people are coming out, and people need to step out. I think it's good for one's mental health as well, that you come out there. I'm not saying to my show, but anyway, come out. As someone told me years ago. And then the other thing I want to say is that the show is going, if you're watching the show and you're anywhere in the country near Gqeberha, Mossel Bay, George, the Hilton Arts Festival in Pietermaritzburg, that's even happening next month, Elizabeth Snedden in Durban, I'll be at all of those theatres. So do go on to
presumably performing a
marklottering.com.
show at those theatres.
Well, I didn't promise them the show, but they're keeping the bar open. They got tequila's cheap in Mossel Bay. Did you not know this?
Oh, for sure. It's like the bowling
yeah,
club.
that's
No,
what I'm
for sure.
doing. So marklottering.com, Mark with the C. All the dates are there for the entire year. And these shows do sell out very quickly, as we've experienced now. We still tend to wait, you know, to say, I'll wait. But come to the show. Don't pay the children's school fees. Don't pay your bond, because things can happen next week. And then you're dead, and you wouldn't at the show, and the last thing you did before you died was the school fees and whatever. It doesn't benefit anyone in the long run.
If you want to kiss...
It's not even a great school.
Well,
so, you know, so people need to think, just go and laugh.
Just go and laugh. And maybe get a smooch. From your favorite.
How weird is that? Just talk to me and suddenly say, kiss me.
Kiss me with those
let me talk, and then you just suddenly said. Anyway, so Graham and so I was just thinking that we.
Great. And kiss me.
You see, it's happening to me again. Okay.
Be sure to catch one of South Africa's favorite comedians in his latest solo stand-up show. So I wrote that musical, and it is a stand-up show. It's not a musical. He might sing, he might hand out free kisses, but I promise you one thing, you will probably wet your pants from laughing, because he's that funny, and we love him. Thank you, Guy.
Thank you.
Now kiss me.
Oh, it's always great having Mark Lottering in studio. Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast show, we're going to head on over into the kitchen and make use of that beautiful Clement Gold produce and cook up a delicious recipe for you. And still to come, we're going to talk money matters. Would you rather be debt-free or have unlimited credit? We're going to unpack that a little bit more, so stay tuned.
Jacobs 3-in-1, the perfect combination of coffee, milk, and sugar. Jacobs, the magic aroma.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back as we shift gears once again. This year, the proudly South African Clement Gold Premium Mandarin brand celebrates its 20th anniversary. What a milestone. From very humble beginnings in Letsitele in Limpopo, where the first trees were planted, to sitting proudly on the shelves of Woolworths and across the world. We are joined by the founder of the Clement Gold and current co-CEO of the holding company of the ANB Group, who must be smiling right now, Abs van Rooyen, to discuss the success of the fruit brand. AB?
What a privilege to be here with you.
Well, a privilege indeed. A privilege that's been hard-earned, my friend. 20 years. Can you look back? Can you think back to when those first seedlings were first put into the earth? What did you project or see back then?
Well, looking now at the consumer and having the satisfaction of seeing them eating, kids playing, kids enjoying it, it's truly remarkable.
Unbelievable.
2 decades ago, I saw the first fruit, the beautiful, beautiful color, the easy peel, the flavor, fantastic aroma, and I realized then that we wanted to do something special with it. And the aim was to launch it in the South African market and present to the consumer here an export fruit. At that time, when we started marketing with Woolies, it was at a huge discount to what we could achieve exporting the fruit.
Sure, okay.
And we just stuck to it. We did a survey and thought we could possibly sell 400,000 units in South Africa. 20 years later, we sold 1 million units. And yeah, the product with all the attributes, safety, I think the product lives up to the expectation. Consistency, yeah.
It's amazing. It's based in brand, I suppose, and you can proudly wear that label. What sets this apart? Was this a golden ticket moment that you discovered this? Have you had to build and craft it to the product that it is now? How have you been able to achieve a market leader like this?
This variety was developed 60 years ago.
Wow.
And it's amazing that it was almost undiscovered until one person took the tree, planted it where it couldn't be pollinated, and then discovered it's seedless. So that was the big breakthrough.
Wow.
We heard about it. It was done by one of the technicians by the King of Morocco. So we heard about it and pursued it and then got the rights to grow it in South Africa. Oh.
And now we're exporting to the world. I've got to ask you very quickly, and we will chat more as we go into the kitchen and put this to the test, as we've done so many times on our show. Partnerships are vital in growing a brand like this. You were willing to invest your part, take a knock financially, when you could have been exporting this at an absolute premium. But you have built such a powerful brand partnership with Woolies in this space. Why are the partnerships key to your success?
Well, I think you have a long-term relationship, and the trust. Woolies doesn't give you a contract, they give you a handshake.
Wow.
And that handshake is a very, very strong handshake.
Powerful thing.
And you grow, they got us involved in the compliance side that I think Woolies is the most onerous to represent worldwide. So they've given us a platform from where we grew worldwide. If people here we're supplying Woolies, it's almost the endorsement.
For sure.
So proudly Woolies, proudly
sorted.
South African.
And you are proudly South African. This has become like a national symbol. It is that good and absolutely delicious. So thank you on behalf of my kids who eat about a ton a day. Thank you so much. Now, how does this sound? A sticky Clement Gold salmon and tender stem broccoli and creamy mash for breakfast? We'll take it. I'm thanking AB and his team so much for bringing this incredible product into our kitchen. And yes, we will be cooking with it in just a moment.
Okay.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome to it. You've heard the conversation. We've been excited, so much so that we had to dive straight into the kitchen right now and prepare you to embark on a culinary journey to combine the sweet, zesty Clement Gold flavor with succulent richness of perfect salmon, fresh tender shrimp, broccoli, and the comforting creaminess of mashed potato. Wow. Okay, so Abigail is here in the kitchen, as well as Abs, who's going to be joining us from his conversation. And we're going to dive into this recipe right now to honor the legacy of Clement Gold and its remarkable 20-year anniversary. Can you believe it? Firstly, Abigail, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Just arrived.
Yeah, you just arrived. Perfect timing. Of course, I want to maybe ask if Abs can also join us in here for this one, coming right from the conversation. Let's talk about this recipe. Firstly, there's a lot of excitement around this. I've been on the Clement Gold journey as well and seen so many beautiful things about not only the production of this, but everything involved in its process, which I want to talk about. But before we get into that, let's talk about this recipe right now. What are we making? Because it sounds incredible.
Yeah, so it is. So it is a salmon dish, but the most important ingredient is the beautiful Clement Gold.
Yes.
Which is juicy and fragrant and flavor, and is just lovely and sticky, and it goes well with the soya and the garlic. Clement Golds go well with anything. I mean, just like, look how juicy.
I know, you just got here and you couldn't even resist.
I know, couldn't even resist. I haven't had breakfast. Okay, so first up, let's put the, so you can use salmon or trout. You can actually use any kind of fish. Okay. But for something special like this, the gas is on, is just to gently pan fry the salmon. Okay. So my trick often is to, everybody doesn't want skin that sticks, you know. Yes. So I take little pieces of greaseproof paper, chef style, and then I pop the piece of fish on that in the pan, and it doesn't stick. What? And you get a perfect chef style piece of fish. Nice. But today I'm going to just hope that it doesn't stick. Okay, while you're doing that, yes.
I'm going to chat to him as well, because there's so much I want to find out more about. And firstly, how proud are you right now, man? Seeing your product in the kitchen being made with a recipe like this. This goes above and beyond the expectation you had. Beyond just selling Clement Golds, I see an entire world erupting from this. Was this the expectation at the beginning?
Well, you've got to keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars.
Yeah.
Well, small beginnings, but really it's grown. We almost have 12,000 people involved in producing, employed fruit to the market. So thinking about the communities, we grow it, and everybody involved that is required, really makes me proud to be part of this family. Yeah. And the Woolies family, and then internationally, we sell it into 40 different countries. Mm-hmm. And the success of what we've achieved in Woolies, we're managing to roll out. And and after 20 years, it feels like the beginning.
It's crazy, but I can see why internationally it's taking over and obviously gaining such a positive sort of association, because, like you said, the peelability, the taste, everything about it is incredible. On top of that, I was so lucky enough to go on one of the journeys to see from start to finish how this all comes together. Mzansi, let me tell you, it's not just about Clement Gold. It's about the people behind it. I see women in this space being educated in farming degrees in ways that you can't even imagine, and their families being supported all the way. And all through this, all through this fruit, you see an entire community growing around this. And this was the impact that I saw firsthand while going through this process. And I've got to say, it gave me so much pride knowing that just purchasing something like this and enjoying it has such a feel-good factor, because it has so much impact around the country that, for me, that's enough to celebrate, man. Give it to you, bro. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted right now. I'm forgetting that we actually have a recipe going on here.
Yes, exactly.
Where are we at the moment here?
So I've made the salmon, but I just want to say is that never be undercook your salmon or your trout. Or, other fish, maybe it needs to go kind of a little bit less, but the flavor and the delicacy of the trout, it's so beautiful. So just cut through, I have lost a little bit of skin. That is perfect, you know what I mean? It's like, just see it.
Yes. Perfect. All right, what's the next step for this one?
So now we've got a little bit of butter that we're going to brown off a little bit. There's nothing in using this same pan as well. And if you
flavor,
want
right?
to do it as well, you know, you can grill this fish as well because
course.
it's so delicate.
Okay.
Okay, and then what I've done is I've mixed a little bit of corn flour with the soya,
Yeah.
which is fabulous.
Okay.
Okay, and then some garlic.
So is this kind of create some sort of a, is this the broth or the flavor,
Garlic,
the sauce to it?
exactly. And then maple syrup or honey, or golden syrup. Is that off? You see how hot? That's cast iron pans are the perfect thing to cook, and I absolutely adore them. And then I'm going to ask you to cut 2 of those special babies.
You don't even cut these because they're so simple, but I can just kind of peel it open, right?
But that's what's so fabulous about a Clement Gold is actually when you first enter it, it's that peel.
It is.
It's just
It
like
is.
pure sound.
It's almost like, I know this sounds weird, but you could almost just like a little colonia of this stuff. It really would work. Right, so you got half
can
of
do
that.
and you can also cut, because look at this. I mean, I just want to show
They've
you.
actually cut
This is when you get the colour.
Oh!
The squeeze. I mean, just look at
That's
this
the
juice.
Instagram look, eh?
Oh,
You see all the colour of the inside.
just
It
the
looks
best. And, you know, I know that I didn't actually know before you told me that Clement Gold's 20th year. It's Taste Magazine's 20th year in September.
We've got to have a
So
joint
we need
party.
to talk.
all right.
Okay,
We need
and
to
don't
talk
be
indeed.
shy.
Well,
And there we go. Can you see?
I believe there's not just in the family right now. You've actually extended the offering, is that correct?
Yeah, we've got the lemon gold.
Okay.
That is a seedless, juicy lemon.
Yeah.
Very good for cooking. It's slightly more sweeter.
Okay.
And then also the honey gold.
What?
Now, honey gold is a grapefruit.
Okay.
A sweet grapefruit that doesn't leave that bitter taste in your mouth.
Oh, I haven't had one of those yet.
And on top of it, if you cut it, the best way to eat it is cut it in wedges, and it's perfectly designed to fit into your mouth.
Oh, wow.
Say no more. I'm going to have to get in on that as well. Abigail, would you like one as
yes,
well?
I would love one,
One
yes.
for yourself.
Okay.
This reminds me of like being at school, you know, where like halftime came, you get some good nutrition in. Also acts as like a little gum guard, but
Especially with rugby coming on. Oh, that's so
what on earth?
sweet.
100%. There's no bitterness whatsoever. A beautiful balance of sweetness to this, but not overpowering at the same time.
Perfect.
I love this.
Breakfast.
How
A
delicious.
recipe, a kitchen infused with Clement Gold. I mean, come on, this is like heaven right now. Honestly, I am salivating but excited at the same time because I'm going to get a box of these and a box of everything else. Abs, thank you so much for coming through and serving us. This has been incredible and exciting.
Fantastic.
Abigail, thank you for serving us with the recipe that
Absolutely.
is absolutely
I
fitting
mean,
forward.
just look at that.
Look at that, Mzansi.
And you know what I would do is I just put the mash in there and eat it out.
Say it. This dish as much.
A bit of sorbet.
Yeah, yes.
If you love this dish as much as we did, obviously, as well as just making it, then head over to expressoshow.com right now to get the entire recipe. For that one, I think we can celebrate. Job well done. Great stuff. Yes.
Thank you.
It's my feel good.
Welcome back to Mzansi Feel Good Breakfast Show. We have just dived into the world of Clement Gold, and oh, it was delicious. And it's not stopping there. The show continues, and so does the magic. But before we do anything, it's time to head over to official duties. But first, oh, it's so good. Thank you so much for the recipe. Yes.
Pleasure.
Oh, I hope you saved me some. Well, it's 8:08. Let's take a final look at your national headlines. A paramedical team was hijacked, assaulted and robbed of their personal belongings while responding to a bogus distress call near Mamelodi in Pretoria on Saturday. Upon arrival, the paramedics were stopped by the thugs before being forced to drive to a secluded area where they were assaulted and tied up, and the assailants drove off with the ambulance. However, they managed to free themselves, and an armed response team recovered the ambulance minutes later. Also, there's footage available of the perpetrators, and the police are hot on their trail. And AmaZulu King Misuzulu KwaZwelonthini says men should be ashamed about the alarming figures of gender-based violence. He was the keynote speaker at the 2nd annual National Men's Day Against Gender-Based Violence and Femicide at the King Zwelithini Stadium in Umlazi, Durban on Saturday. The Zulu monarch called on men to stand up and speak out against such acts. He said, and I quote, "The situation makes one doubt if we are real men. I am pleading with you, my people, about this disgraceful act, that a woman must never be abused," end of quote. Moving to news beyond our own borders, Ghana's president has accepted the resignation of Sanitation and Water Resource Minister Cecilia de Paa following a public outcry over huge sums of money discovered in her home in the capital city, Accra. 2 domestic staff there have been accused of stealing and stashing more than $1 million in cash, 300,000 euros and several million Ghana cedis, as well as some personal items. The disclosure has caused an uproar in Ghana. Many are wondering how a minister could have such vast sums of money in her home. And staying with news abroad, Pope Francis said yesterday that recent heat waves across many parts of the world and flooding in South Korea show that more urgent action was needed to tackle climate change. To quote, he says, "I renew my appeal to world leaders to do something more concrete to limit polluting emissions." The Pope said at the end of his Angelus message to crowds in St. Peter's Square, Rome. "It cannot be postponed. It concerns everyone," he added. Meanwhile, at least 30 people have been killed in Afghanistan after floods caused by heavy monsoon rains washed away homes. And staying with news abroad, a village in the Scottish Highlands was recently flooded by a sea of 361 sandy coats and smiley faces as the golden retriever breed celebrated 150 years. The adorable pooches gathered in their hundreds as the original birthplace of the first ever golden retriever puppies, the village of Tumish. Now a UK favorite, the breed was created during the 1800s to have a dog that could swim significant distance to retrieve wildfowl. Now, and the breed developed a calm temperament along the way, leading to friendly nature these magnificent dogs are known for today. Well, who is a good boy? That's where I leave your morning headlines. Let's take a final look at your sport.
Yep, my tail is wagging right now. Let's start with a bit of footy to stop that tail wagging with a heartbreaking defeat to Sweden in their opening FIFA Women's World Cup encounter yesterday. Behind them, Banyana now will be hoping to get their first win of the tournament when they face Group G rivals Argentina at the Dunedin Stadium on the 28th of July. That's this Friday. The African champions scored the first goal against the Swedes yesterday morning through Hilda Machaya, but their victory was short-lived as the third-ranked side bounced back to seal a 2-1 victory in the end, that final goal coming in the 90th minute. Machaya also took a nasty knock when scoring that goal, but it seems she will be okay to face Argentina on Friday. Then sadly, a no result in the cricket yesterday. Australia have retained the Ashes after the fourth test against England at Old Trafford ended in a rain-affected draw, with bad weather meaning no play was possible yesterday on that final day. So the result has ensured that Australia, as the holders, keep the Ashes at 2-1 up with one match left in the series, regardless of the result next week's fifth test at the Oval. It means it is a dead rubber. So heavy overnight rain left the outfield sadly sodden, and that meant play was unable to start as scheduled settled in Manchester. That rain continued throughout the day. Sadly meant that there was not a single ball bowled. I think Ben Stokes' face tells the tale. Now we turn to a moment of history in Formula One, and you might be thinking as Max Verstappen cruised to yet another majestic victory at the Hungarian Grand Prix, reeling off a record 12th straight win for Red Bull, that he was just going about his daily business, while the defending double world champion grabbed the lead from pole sitter Lewis Hamilton at the start and remained in control for the 7th successive victory, his 9th in 11 races this year. And that tells the tale in his 44th of his career. But more significantly, it was Red Bull's 12th consecutive win, breaking now a 35-year-old record that they had shared with McLaren, who won 11 straight races back in 1988 with two drivers you might just remember. Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna happened to be the driving pair back then, so quite a milestone. Speaking of which, as we turn to golf now, Brian Harman overcame an early wobble to stroll serenely into his first major title with a 6-shot victory at the 151st Open Championship in Hoylake. So a 1 under 70 proved more than enough for the American, who finished on 13 under par at a rain-soaked Royal Liverpool golf course. World number 3, John Ram, he finished joint second on 7 under with Sepp Straka, Tom Kim and Jason Day. And of course, a big breakout star this year, SA's Christo Lamprecht. He won the silver medal for the leading amateur finisher after he ended on 11 over par for the tournament. Had a fantastic opening round, and I think the sponsors will be knocking on his door. But that's where we leave our sport for this Monday morning. I think the roads should be up and running by now. Let's get you to work safely. Ra's got the latest.
Thank you so much, G. Yes, let's dive into traffic this morning right now and find out what's happening on the roads. And first up in Pietermaritzburg in KZN. Now, there's been an accident on the N3 highway. Now, there are heavy delays, so please do approach this area with caution. Sticking to KZN right now, in Ashburton to be specific, there's been an accident on the N3 westbound. Now, this is after the ramp from Ashburton to the Linfield Park ramp. Now, there are still heavy delays, so please allow for more travel time. From KZN, we head over to Cape Town, Bellville, for congestion on the R300, and that's northbound at Old Paul Road. So again, you can expect delays in the area. But for anybody heading on the roads, buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. From the roads, we head to the sky. Let's see what's happening the latest when it comes to weather. Now, reporting on weather news, the SA Council of Geoscience has confirmed that an earthquake was registered near the Harmony Doornkorp gold mine on the West Rand at 6:46 p.m. on Saturday. Now, it registered a magnitude 3 on the SA National Seismograph Network, and it's still unclear at this stage if any damage was caused to properties or infrastructure in the area. Now, this is the second earthquake recorded on the Witwatersrand in the past few weeks. And in June, residents on the East Rand were awoken by a 4.7 magnitude earthquake, and that in the early hours of the morning. Now, the epicenter was in Boksburg. Well, from our weather news, let's dive into those temperatures one last time. Now, starting off in Port, they started at a low of 8 up to a high of 27 degrees. Mbombela sees today starting at 12 up to 27. Pretoria, 8 is your low up to a high of 24. In Johannesburg, sunny skies from 6 degrees. You move up to a high of 23 degrees Celsius. Carrying over to where you have a chillier start of 6 degrees up to a high of 25. Klerksdorp brings the chill from 1 degree all the way up to 21 for your max. Kimberley, very similar. From 1, you move up to 18 degrees, but Bloemfontein bringing crazy chill from -4, you move up to 18 degrees Celsius. Carrying on around the coast to Richards, the rain continues from 11, you move up to 18. Pietermaritzburg, rainy conditions much the same from 5, you move up to 15. Durban, the rain carries on from 12, you're up to a max of only 18. And Umtata, starting the day at 2 and moving up to a max of 18 degrees Celsius. Umtata, however, expected, but a little bit of chilly conditions. From 7, you move up to 18 degrees in East London. Craddock, -1 to start the day, up to a high of 15. GQ Mbecha, 4 is yellow, up to a high of 17. And George, a chilly start of 2 degrees and moving only up to a maximum of 14 degrees Celsius. In Cape Town, much the same, chilly conditions from 6 up to a high of 15 only. Worcester sees the day starting at 3 up to a high of 16. Sutherland, -2 to start the day and only moving to a max of 12. And Uppington, 2 degrees up to a high of 21 degrees Celsius. Well, in the temperatures, but we'd love to see those sunrise views and one last chance to put a smile on our face. Now, starting us off for this morning's edition, we've got Desiree in Pietermaritzburg sending in a pretty violet tone shot with birds flying around, and I love this one. Thank you so much, Desiree. Next up, we've got Eugene from GQ Mbecha, and this one's on the balcony enjoying some absolutely delicious coffee, a delicious sunset, and delicious colors in that one. Beautiful stuff. Adil in Cape Town comes through next, heading to work, quickly sharing a view from Sunningdale. Wow, capturing the tones of orange, the predisposition of the sun just before it comes through and slays away. I absolutely love this shot. Thank you so much. Lastly, we've got Amanda in Hull. Well, this one's from Falsebay, showcasing a view that is just picturesque. Oh, the water is so tempting, something you'd want to dive into just like the rest of this day. Thank you so much for all these incredible pictures. We'll do it all again next week, but oh, look at the smile you put on our face. That's thanks to you. 063408863. Send those pictures, send your videos, your sunrises, and everything else, and let's carry on with the magic right now.
Oh man, from the beautiful heavens, let's bring you crashing back down to earth. It's time to talk about money and debt in particular. It is an essential part of life. It's part of being a grown-up. It helps us buy things like cars, like houses, make those investments, but it quite literally comes at a very heavy cost.
That is so true. Now, are you willing to pay that price for the rest of your life? Time to find out in another round of Would You Rather? Dum, 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 dum. Now, our Would You Rather scenario is like this.
Okay.
Would you, A, have the ability to erase all your existing debt, but never be able to take on a new debt?
Okay.
Or B, have unlimited access to credit, but always carry a moderate level of debt? So, Graham, would you rather A,
I mean, it's
or B?
in an ideal world, I suppose, and this is quite an idealistic question to ask, but it does speak to a really interesting pressure point, and I've been thinking a lot about that. I suppose as I transcend the COVID debt phase, where so many of us were forced to take on quite heavy amounts of debt necessarily, and I'm grateful that I was able to do that. It's got me thinking a lot about how I would love to just live outside of that space completely. So I don't know, in an ideal world, maybe I'd go for A and just break the rules, change the way that we live, because I think most people live most of their lives in debt.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would also, in an ideal world, gear towards A. I like to think I'm a pretty patient person. I can wait and save up to buy something rather than having to actually, if you calculate the interest you pay on certain things, you sometimes wonder, I'm like, oh, I probably should have just saved a little longer for it, and then being able to buy that and something else compared to what you end up paying at the end
You
of
could
the
have
day.
bought the Ferrari with the amount of interest that you've paid. Well, let's find out what you guys had to say, because I have a feeling this would have really struck a couple of nerves there. Zelda Hennessy saying, A, debt is the enemy. And I think that's an ironic laughy face there.
Definitely. Jeremy says definitely B, because you can't buy a house cash or new cars, so have to adopt sensible debt which you can maintain safely. So that's also the key word, is sensible and I suppose responsible debt.
It speaks to control for sure. Angie Pochenpool saying, it's A for me to teach kids about wants and needs. Oh, you opened a whole nother kettle of fish there. Absolutely love that. I think a lot of people being forced to ask these questions now in life. It's not just an idealistic question, but it's what do you want?
But also, I think that's why it's so important to have a will in place, because it's not necessarily about who's going to inherit your assets. It's also who you're protecting from your debt.
Oh, I love that.
There we
Absolutely
go.
love it. Well, debt is sadly a part of life, but it is critical that you remain in a financially sound position to make those monthly payments. You've got to maintain your end of the equation, and where you can, always try to pay off more than the minimum installment so that you can reduce that amount owed in the long run and bring your interest down.
Definitely. Now, every cent you have saved now, you can go towards saving for your future.
That Ferrari.
90% of South Africans can't afford to retire. Start saving in a Nedbank 32-day notice account. Choose a rate of up to 8.8% and stand a chance to win 50,000 Rand with greenbacks every month. Join the bank that's best for your savings goals.
yes, the magic will continue. Don't go anywhere, Mzansi. Stick around. We're doing a caprese pizza, yes, with anchovies and chickpea. Sounds delicious. And then exploring the world of French sheep. Yes, French sheep. You heard correctly. All that and more just in a bit. Don't go anywhere. Oh, that's good.
Making a cappuccino with thick creamy froth is now impressively easy.
It's my feel good.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a show it's been already. It's only Monday, but wow, the conversation and everything has been on point.
It definitely has. Well, there are some, we were talking about friends.
Yeah.
Even our Good Morning post was all about which friend knows you the best.
Yeah.
So we are going to unpack 4 key types of friends. There are acquaintances, social buddies, intimate confidants, and true companions. But in this digital age that we're living in, where social media influencers have risen to stardom, we've also spotted a new breed of friendship, or should we say friendship. Now, there are the clout chasers, the ones who crave the spotlight, relishing in tagging photos and public appearances with you. But it begs the question, is this still friendship or simply a new digital age alliance? Let's delve a little bit deeper into unpacking this very intriguing topic.
This is very intriguing indeed, and something that I haven't thought about, but whoa, this is pertinent. Now, let's dive into the first one, acquaintances, right? And we're talking about acquaintances in terms of like network connections, colleagues, friends, friends of friends. We want to talk about these scenarios that help illustrate this type of friendship right now, right? So I can imagine 1 or 2 situations where this plays out, can you?
Well, I think more for me, acquaintances is someone who you know them, you're friendly with them, but you're not necessarily going to invite them over to your house for coffee.
You're not going to hang, right?
No,
Like
they're acquaintances.
We see eye to eye, I get you, I respect you. That kind of makes sense. I've got a few of those, especially I think in work, that's normally the case, especially someone that like, yeah, we're cool at work and stuff, but let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got acquaintances. What is next? We're talking about social and intimate friends, right? So we're talking about the overlap between social and intimate friends. Is there anything that gets highlighted when it comes to casual interactions with social friends? And then also, what is happening when it comes to the deeper connections with our intimate friends, right? So there's a difference.
Those are your besties in my mind. Those are your friends that, like you have your besties and then you have your social friends where you have a good connection with them. You can hang out with them and have a great time. You can invite them over for a games night and it could be a subdued evening and it will still be good.
I think so. And I think it's someone that you possibly share secrets with and know that it's safe with them, and they're not going to maybe blast it out on like social media and stuff. So maybe those are the ones that you can really trust. I don't know. You be the judge, though, right? But it doesn't stop there, because we're now talking about best buddies, right? And what is the significance of your best friends? What do they offer you? Is it judgment-free support? Is it just sharing the experiences that you get together with? Or is it something that leaves you with more, like leaving you recharged, leaving you feeling like your social energy level is just right where it needs to be?
Oh, I can honestly say I have my circle of friends very small, but I have the best girlfriends. We have weekly girls' night dinners. They are the type of girls where you can go to their house, you don't have to say a word, but you can spend time with them and you can leave and still feel like, oh, you just had the best conversation.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's the way that they leave you feeling after that engagement. That's where the best buddy lies, especially if they make you feel good. Now, here's the one we're all diving into right now and wanting to find out more about: friendship, right? Now, it is an intriguing concept, friendship. Those are friends who might be following you for your fame, associated with your online presence, but is it an authentic connection? That's the question, right? So we want to find out, have you maybe experienced this in your world, Zoe? I think now that I think about it, actually, yes. I've never noticed it or paid attention to it, but I'm like, hang on, you actually are there for these reasons, and I need to really pay attention to this, because it's cool, because I think it still supports you in a certain way. They are like kind of there for you. They're in your corner, but nowhere near the support you'd get from a bestie or someone intimate, right?
For me, it's I suppose, I feel like I don't go out much to actually notice these things.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, if it's not harmful, I think it's quite amazing to have
It's like an army. It's cool. I think it's a gift thing. Friendship, I'm here for it. But I think there's something else going on right now, and that's comments and conversation and discussion coming from you guys online. And you did have an opportunity to share some of that with us. We wanted to know from you guys, though, more importantly, about friendship, and that's the conversation we had with you with a Good Morning post. And who was one of those best friends? Who are the people that you share those relationships with? So is this a conversation that you need to have? Do you need to figure out who your friends really are and what level they play on when it comes to the different degrees of friendship? Well, let us know. It's a discussion that I think is definitely needing to be happening right now.
I'll tell you what you need to be happening right now is pizza in your face hole, because we've got the most amazing pizzas here. In fact, we're going to take you on a culinary adventure journey to Italy, to the birthplace of the humble, not so humble anymore, pizza, and we love it. Today is a culinary adventure, and we are here to hero this little round superstar. Yes, we are going to be a caprese or caprese pizza. The dish is named after Capri, an island on Italy's Bay of Naples, and I think we know that Napoli is where the pizza was born. Woolworth's stone-baked caprese pizza is topped with sweet rosa tomatoes, creamy mozzarella cheese, and a basil oil drizzle for a little extra flavor, and only one person could be here to unleash our inner Italian. Are you in any way Italian, Abby?
No, I'm not Italian, but I love Italian, and Woolworth's winter campaign is so much about Italian, and specifically these beautiful stone-baked pizzas.
Stone-baked, yes.
Yes, look how rustic.
How to use the term rustic, okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you did. Whenever a dish doesn't look like, when it looks like you've made it at home, you're like,
Yes.
it's meant to be rustic, okay? It's meant to look like this. But with a pizza, especially when you're using this quality of dough and the stone-baked process, there is something pure about it. Why is this the way to do it? What do you love about these pizzas?
Because it's authentic, you know, and that's kind of an overused word often, but it is authentic. It's got it's been stone baked, it's been hand stretched like the proper way that you see, you know, I don't know how to do the twisting and all that with the pizza. And it just gives the proper crust. You know, if you put it in the oven for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, it depends on how hot it is. I like to just put it on a baking rack, not on a tray. If it's a tray, then it must be a hot tray, just to hit the bottom again and to crisp it up. And then there's a whole variety of pizzas. There's a chicken club. There's the South African feta and bacon.
Oh, get out.
There's the barbecue chicken. But what I also like to do is just sometimes bulk it up as well, and just for something a little bit different.
Because there are flavor combinations when we work within the Italian space that just work. We talk about the caprese, though, and when you're getting amazing quality mozzarella, that can be all you need.
Exactly.
These things really do work, but what are we going to be creating today? Because we are leveling up.
Yes, so what I love about this little pizza, and some of the other ones like the club, and you get a little bit, like the club one is salami and chicken, and you get a little chipotle, little treat.
Something
Yeah,
to
so
add
this
on
is
top.
like a little basil pesto. Can I ask you to open
can,
that?
with pleasure.
And then I'm keeping it in the Italian theme. Back on shelf are these marinated white anchovies. They are fantastic. They're not as strong as a normal brown salted anchovy. They're pickled, and you don't have to use them obviously all at the same time. And you can just put them in a little Tupperware and keep them in the fridge for at least up to 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And add them to salads or just as they are.
So it can be a part of your 2-week meal plan, okay?
Exactly.
One pack.
Yes,
I like that.
exactly. Just on a little piece of toasted chia butter with a slice of fresh tomato and that on top. Little
get
bit of oil.
out.
Okay, so you mix
Okay,
that.
so that's going in.
And then I've got a can of chickpeas.
Okay.
Never drain the juice of your butter beans and chickpeas.
Okay.
Keep it. It makes a beautiful thickness to soups and stews. It's
I know in a lot of veggie-based kind of diet plans, this becomes the stock favorite because it can lend itself to so many different areas.
Exactly.
Okay, so some oil going in
good
as well.
extra virgin olive oil. There are so many local oils as well on the show. I go for local.
You might have some of the olive oil in the world right now. I'm going to proclaim it because I'm now become like a connoisseur of olive oils, and we've got a couple of brands that you'll find in Woolies that are it's like fine dining, like wine, the nuance of flavor development.
Profiles,
And
yeah.
Honestly, if you're going to include anything in your diet every day, olive oil with its anti-inflammatory properties, I can't tell you, it is so healthy and good for you.
So good for you. And I always say, don't waste your olive oil in your cooking. Add it afterwards. You know, it depends if it's extra virgin, that is. Keep your extra virgin and your special little bit of treats for afterwards, to bring in the flavor, and then just start everything off in Italian with a little, just a plain olive oil. Yeah.
Just a plain.
Yeah, so I've just jazzed that up. You can warm that up if you want, but I quite like the hot and the cold. And then, Graham, we're just going to put it. Yeah, and you can use, you know, the other anchovies as well,
sure.
or you can do a mixture. But I love the freshness. And then to highlight the basil pesto. Look how beautiful they are.
We've got a bit of
and on
fresh
an anti-pasta platter.
For sure.
So lovely. And then just some of these micro baby
basil leaves.
Which are also add
and
a bit of
that
freshness.
makes the oil kind of sing on a different level as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
The
Abigail
fragrance,
Donnelly,
yeah.
you are Italian. I know you say that you're not Italian.
In
but I
my
think-
heart, I am.
Exactly. Well, in our tummy, I think we are all a little bit Italian. If you want this recipe, and I suggest you do this for yourself, go to expressoshow.com. Woolworths is making it so easy and so convenient with this amazing range of ready-to-eat, freshly made pizzas, stone-baked, baby. So shop them in store, online, or on the app, and make sure you level up like that.
Look.
Wow.
How nice.
That's a work of art.
It's
Put it on
Monday
a-
breakfast.
Put it on a
That's for
fresco.
sure.
Beautiful.
My Monday
Yes.
breakfast.
So yes, more deliciousness and of course a friendship-inspired show today. We're going to get into those different modes of friendship in just a moment. Stick around. I think I might have a slice.
Do it like this. Do it like get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. What a show it's been already, and it's going to get better because I get to speak to one of my best friends. Yes, we're joined by Dr. Fez Mkhize, known for his diverse accomplishments as a medical doctor, Mr. World Africa model, TV presenter, podcaster, and even Cosmo's Essays. Sexiest man of 2019. Oh, the man's list is crazy, but at the heart of it all, it's the simple pleasure of life, like spending time with his girlfriend, Dr. Anesu Mbuvza, who is exercising, reading, and meditating that truly lights up his world. Now, he recently embarked on a trip to the Reunion Island, where you can catch all the details on tonight's episode of The Insider Essay, but we have the man right here, so let's welcome Fez to the building! Oh, brother, how are you doing?
Brother, man, you know what? Whenever I see your face, I'm always doing great. You know I miss you. I feel like I haven't seen that face personally in a very long time, but it's so good to have you speak to me and interview me about somebody else I love immensely.
Look, man, but it's always good seeing your face and seeing this incredible adventure you've been on. Before we even get into that, let's just educate Mzansi on how the two of you met, you and the beautiful Doc. Take me through that journey, bro.
So we actually met at med school. A tale as old as time, two medics trying to make it through, and you kind of find each other in the crazy studying, books, all of that lifestyle. And we were very good friends initially. I was her head of house, I was like part of the head house committee, welcoming everybody in. We kind of got to speaking. We kind of realized that we gelled really well, and then all of a sudden we were hanging out a lot more than maybe we should have as just friends, and it progressed from there.
And no one's complaining because look at this. You come from a chaotic space like that, and now look at the space that you're in, doing beautiful, incredible memory-making magic activities on an island like this. Dude, it's insane. What was there anything that stood out for you, though? I mean, can you choose something?
Hey, man, we know that island. We have a very intimate understanding of that island. Present a search on 3. Me, you, sharing in the room, it was a crazy experience. But to be with her, it almost felt like it became a totally different island. A lot less stress, a lot less pressure, and it was just about enjoying. So from everything from the cultural elements to the paragliding to seeing the volcano. I think a lot of people have seen the first 2 parts of our trip. It all was absolutely incredible. Even the things that might have not had the adrenaline packed, kind of everything's happening all at once, and you know we love that. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience with somebody who I know would make me always remember those kind of intimate moments. So I think everything was amazing, and you're going to see with tonight that it only gets better with each segment.
Oh, we cannot wait, man. And I think on top of that, it must be so weird, like you mentioned, being back there again, a full 360 moment. What sort of advice would you give to... I know. Oh, it's just not the same, but it's fine. The plus one that you did bring is definitely worthy of replacement, I think. Listen, bro, I think a lot of people after watching this are probably going to want to head down to Reunion Islands themselves, right? And by the looks of it, it seems like there's a little bit of everything for everyone. You've mentioned it now, but maybe just another reason to get people involved in not only the show, but also the island itself. What would you say to them?
I think the biggest take-home message for me, over and above the aesthetics, because it is obviously a beautiful place, it's the people. They all come together. It feels like we pride ourselves on Ubuntu. I almost feel like that essence is there as well. There's an amalgamation of different cultures, religion, but everybody feels like they're part of a bigger community, and they welcome everybody in. So when you come in, there's people who want to tell you, okay, this is where you need to go if you're confused as to where to get a nice microclimate that is warmer, or if you are wanting to experience like the mountainous areas, they'll tell you exactly kind of where to go. Everybody's always really helpful. Everybody wants you to enjoy your time there, even if you're not from the space itself. So I think for me, that there is that heart, the heart of the island is what will make me keep wanting to go back. So I literally have been telling my mother, I've been telling my brother, I've been telling everybody who's come into contact with me, you need to go and experience it. I really can't describe it. As much as the shots are beautiful, you really need to feel that warmth that comes from the people.
Oh man, I'm looking at you. I can see the glow right now. There's clearly a reason why, and that's definitely from the island. Listen, bro, with all the magic that has been unfolding since that day when you were at the Reunion Islands and your world just changed, what's next for you? Where are you going to next? Where are you traveling next? What's the plans, man?
Hey man, I feel like you're the pioneer for these great things, and maybe you'll see me on a screen somewhere. Just flexing some acting muscles. So just keeping your eyes out, and of course had the opportunity to be able to be part of the ensemble for adulting. So there's just a lot of things in the pipeline. Hopefully everybody is keeping their eyes peeled, but as always, leading with love, as you always like to tell people. Just
Oh, you beautiful human, Fez. Thank you so much. Always good seeing your face, and thank you for sharing good light, good energy. It's all we need for this Monday.
Love you, man. So good to see you.
Oh, what an absolute legend. And the man is looking in pristine condition. So wherever you're going to see him next, oh, brace yourself. It's going to be incredible. And for anybody else that wants to catch this, you can catch Dr. Fez and his girlfriend in a reunion tonight on The Insider SA at 6 p.m. on SABC3. As you heard, it is everything and more. See you there.
That was quite a bromance, man. We love our friends, but we love our rusks maybe a little bit more. Who do we love more? We'll find out now. And do you know your friends well enough to earn yourself a box of Omar rusks as the ultimate friend? We will find out as we find the ultimate friendship quiz. And we're going to do it right now. So, Raul, you better come and sit down here, my friend.
We've got a pop quiz. Who's ready for the pop quiz?
I wouldn't. You seem to know a freakish amount about Fez there, so I'm glad we're not doing it.
Oh, I would have won that for sure, man. That guy's like my brother.
So this is actually how it's going to work. There are going to be 10 rounds in each round. A question will be posed to each of us, and we're each going to need to write down a correct answer for both of the other players. So we will then reveal the answers and see if we were right or wrong. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of these wrong. The person with the most correct answers obviously claims the title, the ultimate friend, and most importantly, walks away with a box of Omar rusks. Dun, dun, dun.
Dum, dum, dum.
Zoe, first in class.
I'm keeping score here.
Yeah, she's ready to rock and roll. So this is going to be quite a thing.
I'm scared.
I'm very scared because I looked at the first question now and I'm oh my word, I have no idea. And it's something that we should all really know about each other. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, what are our ages?
Whoa, whoa. So I've got to write your names down, right? And then assign an age to each of you, right? So I'm going to put a Z over here and then a G there. Oh, guys, whoa, this is actually a good question.
I feel like I'm about to insult someone.
Yeah, I feel like I should know this. Wow.
Okay. Are we ready to reveal?
I feel like
I think maybe.
Gee whiz, dude. I'm going to just do this as
okay,
a
are we
blanket thing.
revealing?
Go for it, go
All
for
right,
it.
so who's first? I got Zoe at 33 and G, I got you at 40.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. I got you at 30 and I got you at 30 because I thought to say anything more or less, I don't know. I feel like you've passed that milestone. But
I'm 33.
No, yes,
you only look about 20, you look about 28. So you look about 28.
And I am...
Gee, are you 40, 41?
45, yo.
What?
45, yo.
I'm 30. Yo, I'm 35. Whoa, I'm old.
Okay, I made you a bit older. Sorry, it's minus one.
Old, G.
No, you're not, bro. You're not getting old. You're getting better.
Okay.
You're getting better.
You're terrible friends. But
No,
okay,
but we're
one
not
question
because
down.
it means that we all see each other as really immature and juvenile. Oh, shame. Okay,
nice.
so no points yet.
Nice.
Okay.
No one gets points.
Birthdays.
Oh.
Yours was like 2 weeks ago. What was the date? 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh. Oh, man.
Wow.
Okay, we got to get it exact, like not even the month, eh? The day and everything. Come on. And I literally I wish so, like, oh, come on.
Okay, Graham, your
Gee
birthday.
whiz.
I feel like I'm confusing maybe your wedding date.
Yeah, I've no idea. It all flows into one.
Raul, when was your birthday?
actually had on the show, if that's any consolation.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, just
I
so
know.
you know, it's
But
not a
like
weekend.
We haven't had like 10
But it was
birthdays
one of
on the
those
show.
days where only at the end of the day we were like, oh, it's Raul's birthday.
Yeah, try to slip around. Try to slip through. Oh, man.
I have no idea.
What month
I'm
are we
also
in?
just like...
Exactly.
Okay, I think I'm ready. This is the wildest guess ever.
Oh, I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm writing my own
Must I
down
write
as
my
well.
own down as well? No, we don't need to do that.
I did it.
Okay.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh!
So you got mine, right? 6th of July. That's
Are you 6th of July?
Yeah, well done.
Are you the 19th of March?
No.
21st of March?
22nd of May.
No. When's your birthday?
29th of Jan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
When are you?
I'm July the 6th.
The 6th.
I got that right. I got that right.
That
was
pretty
close,
good.
bro.
Well
Nice.
done. Well done. So
Very
Zoe
nice.
is leading.
Yes,
because
she is.
got
One right. Okay, one right.
Okay, pet's
Okay.
name.
Whoa.
Oh, partner's name. Not
Partner's
pet's
name.
Partner's
Okay,
name.
okay, cool.
Shush, shush. Okay, shush.
So what's the question?
Okay.
Partner or pets?
Partner. Okay. And you're about to be found out if these aren't right, eh? This could be a very dangerous thing to
The
play.
spelling might be different.
Yeah, and I'm ready. I got Robbie and Linz.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, Mal, yes.
Yes,
Yes,
well
we
done.
know each other's
Okay.
partners'
3 plays.
names.
I was going to be a bit alarmed if we didn't get that one right. That's nice.
Okay, let's do pet's name.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
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 Oh, man.
Kid and what is it? Okay.
Oh, no. I forgot the other one now.
I know. I'm just going to make one up because... Okay, this is...
Okay. I think I'm winning this one.
Oh, you are.
I'm not.
I think. Watch that self-talk.
So
boy.
I go for G Park or the one.
Oh, you're the winner. You're the winner.
And Zoe, I got blue, yes.
And Navy.
And
Sailor, but that's what you're going to name
Sailor
your child, hey?
No, Sailor was my first cat.
Oh, man. So
It's navy
it's
and
not
blue.
wrong. It's
Navy
not
and blue.
wrong.
It's not wrong,
And
but he
then,
doesn't live anymore.
I said
got-
Harley, which is not right, but Harkin and Halo.
Yes.
Harkin and Halo.
Nailed it. Well done.
And
well
then
done.
you have Lola, Leo, Honey, and Zach.
Zach, oh, you are the winner. You absolutely
Whoa, so
smashed it.
nice.
I
Okay.
forgot that I even had cats today, dude. That's how off the mark I am. Oh, Zoe, you are resplendent as our champion today.
Well done.
Congratulations. Zoe wins herself her 12th box of Omar Rusks for the year as our resident champion and now best friend to everybody.
Yes.
And here's the good news. Now is your chance to win. We know nothing beats sharing an Omar Rusk. Let's be honest. But it's got to be with your friends, even if they're semi-friends like us. So tell us, who is the one friend that you would share every last rusk with, if that even exists? You can enter the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages. You'll find our competition post there and include the hashtag #MoreThanARusk. One winner will walk away with, yes, an Omar Rusk's hamper. There's a lot in it, plus 2,000 Rand in cash. And you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Zoe, well done. I think you're just younger and have a better memory than us. I
Yeah,
think
I'm
that's
going with that. I'm going with
key
that.
thing, yeah. Well, I'm going to start writing stuff down.
There is more in every dip with Omar Rusks.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to it. Of course, there's no reason to go anywhere because we've still got so much coming through. We are diving into the world of Clement Gold once again and something exceptional in the kitchen. And of course, our performers are standing by. Yes, yeah. Oh, of course, it's going to be magic, so don't do anything but stick around.
It's my feel-good
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. We absolutely love the vibe on today's show, and it's going to get only more heartfelt. Caring for the family is a full-time job, and being clued up makes it easier to do. We sit down with Dr. Rochelle Frex to assess different types of coughs in kids and how to go about treating them. And if you think this is a light conversation, if you've got young children, you will know that this becomes a massive, massive part of your life, the narrative. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Maybe a good place to start, because I think, and I've got a child who's 3 years old and 6 years old, and there is a cough every week. What are the most common types of coughs? Is it throat or maybe respiratory? Where do we begin this conversation when looking at the kinds of coughs that are most common amongst our little ones?
Okay, it's important to understand why we cough. And we cough to clear our airways, the upper airway or the throat, or the lower airway of particles. So a cough is basically protective, and it can also be a symptom of something underlying. Okay.
And that's where we need to lean on our doctors and be able to ask. I think maybe generally when I look at my kids, it's generally, is it a wet or is it a dry? So maybe let's start with the wet. What kind of informs or leads us to a phlegmy cough? What is going on there?
Okay.
What is that an indicator of?
A wet cough or phlegmy cough is basically the same thing. And a phlegmy cough tells us these secretions are being produced, secretions or mucus or phlegm is produced, and this usually suggests an infective cause. And infective cause can be viral, bacterial, it can also be fungal. So various things causes phlegmy coughs.
And a production of phlegm on a level that is staggering. When you see it, like how quickly the system can be overtaken. I think you want to get to the root cause, but you also want to help your kids feel a little bit better. So what is the first step? How do we approach a wet cough or a phlegmy cough when treating it? What's the first step, do you think?
The first step is understanding the causative factors of coughs. Most coughs are caused by viral infections, the upper respiratory tract infections. And it's also good to look at specific age groups of children because specific pathogens cause a specific type of cough.
Reactions, okay.
Okay, so when we look at the infant group, and this group is from birth to from birth to 1 year.
Okay.
Okay, specific viral infections in this group are syncytium viral infections, cytomegaloviruses. You also get the bronchiolitis in this group, and then you get bronchitis. And when you look at the 3-year-old or the preschool group, here you get bacterial infections that can cause cough, phlegmy cough. And also something that we keep on forgetting about is non-respiratory things like inhalation of foreign bodies. These kids pick up things and put in their mouth and swallow, and this can also cause coughs. And then also other viral infections in this age group is croup, which is caused by the parainfluenza virus. So they can also cause coughs. And also, not to forget about seasonal hay fever. That's also a cause of
Just when
of
we
cough.
let our guard down, or we
Yes,
think we've got
yes,
it all
definitely.
sorted out. I wanted to ask you something, because tartrazine has been painted as a villain. and it's so present in so many things still, in a lot of phlegmy cough mixtures. Why is it so important to avoid that?
Like you say, there's so much conflicting data about tartrazine. Just to start with tartrazine, it's artificial colorant, and it's used, like you say, in lots of things. It's used in food stuff, it's used in cosmetics, and it's used in medicine. And like you say, lots of people look at the safety issue of tartrazine. It has been affiliated or with lots of adverse reactions, skin reactions as well as respiratory. So it can cause the skin problems. It can cause eczema or urticaria, hives. And the respiratory problems that tartrazine can cause is...
So it might be a place to start.
It can cause asthma, bronchospasms.
Wow.
So lots of people look at they studied tartrazine, and it has been found that tartrazine is harmful to humans.
We're going to leave it there and to drop the microphone, because I think that's something that has got a lot of parents' attention right now. It's absolutely vital that we can help our little ones feel a little bit better, but also to lean on those support structures around us. Speak to your GP. If it is going on for too long, do something about it. You've got support structures around you, lean on them. Doctor, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, an absolutely great conversation, but let's bring it back to the kitchen right now, and let's not let the notion of making bread from scratch intimidate you any longer, because we're here to show you just how effortless it can be with Golden Cloud. Now served with quick Clement Gold jam, this rich butter bread is not only great for a morning toast to kickstart your day, but also pairs perfectly with a warm dinner. And I'm going to go out there and say it actually pairs perfectly with anything. So myself and Zoe are right here to do it all, and I'm going to show you how quickly and easy this is. So I'm making the jam. It's literally taking some Clement Golds, right? I've got some hot water in a pan and then some sugar. You literally combine it all together, and it kind of will take you about an hour to 2 hours, depending on the consistency that you're looking for. But essentially, that's how easy and that's how cool it is to make Clement Gold jam. Boom! Hand over to Zoe.
And you'll keep an eye on that. So what
Yes,
I've done here is
yeah.
I've got our eggs and our vanilla essence mixed. Excuse me. We already have our yeast activated in some warm milk.
Ooh,
We're going to add that to our wet ingredients, give it a good stir. And then we are going to add our dry ingredients together. So we are using 3 cups of our Golden Cloud, and we are using our cake white wheat flour.
Ooh, and let me talk to you about that, Mzansi, because the Golden Cloud cake flour always gives you the softest and fluffiest bakes. I mean, honestly, you can figure out why after I tell you this. Did you know it's SA's #1 flour brand? Oh yeah, and it promises flop-proof baking results. And for this specific recipe, you can alternatively use the white bread flour instead, as it's been meticulously developed to help bake your breads to perfection. Now, the dough should be sticky, but if the dough is a bit too runny, you can add a ½ cup of flour at any time just to kind of change that consistency. But back on it, and we are slaying this recipe already.
So
my jam's coming together. How's it looking on your side?
3 together, and then I'm going to get our mixture going.
Power tools, yes.
And we are going to get this mixing.
Okay, nice. I've never used one of these, so I'm just paying
It's
high attention
so
right now.
Incredible. I mean,
it's basically like a spare arm, just doing the work in the kitchen for you. I love that.
for you. So it's going to mix our dough, and I'm going to slowly add our butter.
Okay, all right.
Probably add our sugar as well.
Nice.
And we'll keep adding the butter, get that mixture
Cool,
going.
all right.
And we'll be left with our sticky dough texture.
Okay.
And what we've got here is, I'll give you the butter to
All right,
just
can I keep adding that?
it.
All right.
And I'm going to simply take our pieces of dough,
Dough, and try not to
we've
eat
got
it
a
before we
lined
finish the recipe.
tray. Yeah, we've still got some left. We're simply going to just plait it. So one over the other, however you choose to plait.
Nice.
Get our little bread going. Put that in our bread container and give it a light wash with some egg, and then that will go into the oven.
Voila. Okay.
Look at that.
So that's the bread pretty much come together. You just got to get the bake on. You just got to get the jam to settle, and then we're pretty much done after that.
We are pretty much done. So of course, it's easy elements, but they take a little bit of time. Your Clement Gold takes some time to reduce, but then you can simply slice your bread up, give a generous portion of jam, and you are good to go.
Absolutely magic. Zoe, you made that so easy. If you want this recipe, Mzansi, head over to expressoshow.com right now. And on top of that, don't forget that Golden Cloud is giving you the chance to win big. You're wondering how? Check this out. Nice job.
Baking is love made edible.
You can bake your way to a weekly cash prize of 5,000 Rand with Golden Cloud over the next 4 weeks.
Post a pic and recipe with your winter indulgence that you made with Golden Cloud and send it to our Expresso WhatsApp line or social media pages using that hashtag Golden Cloud Winter Treats.
Plus, you stand a chance of winning the grand prize of a KitchenAid stand mixer if you post a pic of you and your family baking with Golden Cloud on our WhatsApp line or any of our social media pages using that all-important hashtag Golden Cloud Winter Treats.
Don't forget to enter both separately from 12 July to 9 August, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel good.
Oh, before we shut down the show, it's time to roer jou voete met Jakke Prestige.
Roer jou voete oor die waarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die waarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die waarse vloer. En wees versigtig om so skelmpies na my te loer. Want Bokkie, ek en jy, lê agter 'n toedeur en vry. Want Bokkie, ek en jy, lê agter 'n toedeur en vry. Lê agter 'n toedeur en vry. En jou pa sê vir my, ek moet maar liewer my ry hier kry.
Another Feel Good production.
Proe die liefde in jou mond. Hou my vas, swaai my rond. Ek proe die liefde in jou mond. Hou my vas, swaai my rond. Ek proe die liefde in jou mond. En jou pa sê vir my, ek moet maar liewer my ry hier kry. Roer jou voete oor die waarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die waarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die waarse vloer. En wees versigtig Al moet ek my lewe vrees, want bokkie ek en jy, agter ek toe deur en vry. En jou pa sê vir my, ek moet maar liewer my ry hier kry. Roer jou voete oor die baarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die baarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die baarse vloer. En wees versigtig om so skelmpies na my te loer. Roer jou voete oor die baarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die baarse vloer. Roer jou voete oor die baarse vloer. En wees versigtig om so skelmpies na my te loer. Hou my vas en swaai my rond. Proe die liefde in jou mond, want bokkie, ek en jy staan oral op die dansvloer en vry.
And that's how you do it, Mzansi. Thank you so much. If you are still